guys have ideas, concepts, reviews, comments, something you want to talk about, chime in. This is your space. So there you go.
All right. We're just trying to make sure that we're on, guys. Please, if y'all can see us, let us know. Either text my phone if you have it. We don't want to make sure that we're on Facebook, because I don't know, it might be the weather or something's up. So hopefully it's still recording, because I'm trying to see it on my end and I don't see it.
We're good.
You good? All right, we are good. All right. Hey, as long as I get the green, the thumb up, we're good. All right. So again, guys, I mentioned our sponsor for today.
I mean, as you can see now, the cameras. Where do you think the money came out of?
Now he's full of shit.
Oh, I mean, look at the cameras. Ever since I started coming onto your all show, things just started getting way better.
Yep. Well, so supposedly, right?
No, not supposedly. Money's there. You can see it.
But what's the big plan, Mr. Santana?
Big plan?
Where are you going with all this?
Do I need to go over it again?
It's just that you just keep repeating yourself. The same thing.
We're opening up an
Tell me
academy.
where are we at with the Wrestling Academy now?
Well, I'm just waiting on one of the investors. So as soon as that investor
You
comes
need
through,
investors?
I need one. Of course. How do you think I made my money?
I thought you were like the investor.
Negative. I'm the one with a business savvy, and I get people to invest their money. I have no take.
¿Pero qué Sammy? ¿Cuál es?
No, ¿Ese es Sammy? Sí, ese. Yeah, I mean, you look like him.
I got you. You're saying that because I stutter also, right?
A little bit. We both stutter, so that's fine.
It's just me thinking twice when I talk.
Overthinking it, I would say. So no, it's getting the kids out there, out of the streets, into something, getting them moving, getting them excited over something. One of my big plans for this summer is actually having like kind of a summer camp, boot camp, you can say. Where I want to invite anybody that wants to go, that has children, whether it be children, adults, start signing up. They can contact you guys, and you guys work for me now, so you guys will start relaying the information for me. You're like my secretaries
We
now.
work for you now, huh?
Well, I mean, you got a pretty big raise right there. So
Nobody said we're gonna accept this.
apparently, because you're showing it off real nice.
No, bullshit. Before we started, you just threw it up here.
I didn't throw it. No, that money was.
And then you ran over
Yeah,
there.
you ran over like a
To
cowboy.
hide behind the microphone, and you put your glasses on.
Then you put your glasses on.
You're hiding behind your glasses.
I do
put 'em
not
back on.
hide.
Put them back on, please.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not a pretty sight. I end up looking like Shawn Michaels going cross-eyed there.
So, no. Hey,
Yeah.
Shout out to my buddy Sean.
Yes, Sean, if you're seeing me, sorry, bud. But yes, well, we are looking. Well, you could say that one of the biggest investors right now. He's actively trying to come up with ways of getting all the equipment that is necessary. I don't say this very often, but I am very grateful with that investor. He is going to remain anonymous for right now.
Ghost investor.
He's probably full of shit.
Probably. I mean, I'm not going to mention names, but
Well, he's hanging out with you. He's gotta be full of shit.
Yeah.
so are you guys. So
No, you came to the show.
You guys called
we
me.
go to you.
That's right.
Well, I came and I bought the
Yeah,
show.
we're gonna fire
Certainly.
security TJ for letting this guy in, to be quite honest.
Well, he's just gonna leave. He's gonna end up leaving with a lot of money there. So
I don't know about
it'll
that.
probably last him maybe a good 5 days.
We don't have a prize, boss. So.
Don't make me throw this money at you back. I don't need the money.
How much is in one of these stacks, really? I mean,
You're looking at maybe about a good 30 to 40
Dollars?
thousand.
$1,000.
I'm sorry, no.
Ah.
If you want to count pesos, that's fine. No, but $1,000 US dollars.
It smells like laundry. So it
Oh.
Huele a game.
smells like. It's got too much detergent on it.
Un poquito de detergente ahí.
Hello.
No pregunte. Like Mother Teresa would always say, it's the thought that counts.
Really? She would say that? Mother Teresa.
She didn't care. She would say that she never cared where the money would come from.
Oh, okay.
God.
I guess.
Y'all can Google it. Look it up.
I guess.
Dr. Google.
Gandhi's girlfriend.
Algae's mom, man, that's what they say.
Hey, didn't you go to high school, TJ?
Yeah, I'm
with
gonna
her?
go to hell, man. What I have to say. Of course, I went to high school.
Yeah.
The
With her. With Teresa.
That's fucking funny.
Green and
Fucking
gold
dick.
forever.
That's hilarious. That's pretty funny. If you only knew that actually he's older than me.
Well,
Thanks a lot, TJ.
no, he probably went to high school with Jesus Christ, right? But
Wow.
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 Woo.
Roomies.
and I'm sorry for all the religious people that are watching, but yes, I do have a dark sense of humor. And I'm glad that they don't have anybody with special needs on here, because I would be all for it for them punching me, hitting me, and doing things for them.
I have a special.
Sometimes I feel special. Sometimes I feel special.
Yeah, my special.
Well, you kind of look special. You ride the short bus coming over?
Shit.
That's not nice.
That's not. No, it's not.
I'm
nice.
telling you, I have a dark sense of humor. Apparently, that's what's probably gonna get the ratings.
That's not nice at all, since you were the one driving the bus.
Yeah, facts. So, big helmet, yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm the one that drove the bus over.
No,
You know, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. As much crap as I'm giving you guys, I actually have fun coming onto the show.
We don't care.
But I do, and apparently my money does too, because now it's on here.
Smells like bullshit. Is it? What's in between? Is there really like real money in between? Cause
Watch, I'm gonna rip one open and it's gonna be like a movie set.
yeah, like probably.
I'm not gonna embarrass you, I'm not gonna do it, but you know what? It's,
Do you think-
as it
look,
says, it's the thought that counts.
I think
right?
those.
The last time I came, I was wearing 2 chains. I got out of here, and I had to pay one of the guys to leave the area because he was harassing your all's guests. So I had to give him one of the chains so that he could get out. It's probably at the pawn shop that's right around the corner. So
Sure.
you're welcome.
With all
That
the
was an
rest of the
initial
fake
investment that I did here.
Right.
Now you actually think that I'm gonna bring the actual
Yeah,
money?
but that doesn't count because we have to put up with you here.
Well,
So what's
I mean,
what's the
I'm-
ROI?
There's no price
I'm
for
paying
Where's
you
my
money
ROI
so
on
that you
that?
can put up with
There
me.
is no ROI on that. There's no return on investment on that. We just
Yeah,
have to
it
put
is.
up with you.
You're getting money out of it.
Jeez, I don't understand.
Money for putting up with my sassiness?
Sassiness.
I like saying sassy.
You know
It takes a
what?
real man to say
What
sassy.
grown man says sassiness?
It takes a real man to
In
say
my
sassy.
planet, we call that when
I'm sassy.
And I'm the mean one.
Sassy.
And I'm the mean one.
Also pretty.
Maybe we should. I don't know. Maybe we should bring the guys from. What was it? What were the guests that you had on here the other day from that house, the drag house? From the drag house. I don't think they would appreciate you guys saying that to me.
We're not saying that to you.
Well, it sounded like it.
You said it.
We're
to
talking
me.
about.
I didn't say it. I just said it. I had said it's sassy, and I said it takes a real man to say it's sassy.
No, but sassy doesn't sound gay. It just sounds like weak. I'm sassy.
Keep it up, and I'm gonna invoke La Payasonica, and then you're gonna have issues with it.
Hey, I said it. Get him
So,
on.
I'll drive you.
Bring him on. We'll train
Payasonica,
them.
if you're out there, you're listening, this guy.
I'm calling-
You need to talk to him.
Yes.
So,
I'll put him in a wrestling match quick against me.
Challenge you, Payasonica. Reach out, chime in.
Yeah.
We'll
talk
do
to
that.
this guy.
I'll get someone to train, and I'll get someone to train them, and we'll have them on our wrestling events. Full out Pimpinela mode right
That's
there.
not bad.
Pimpinela.
La Pimpi.
Pimpinela. Is he still alive?
Yes.
He's not retiring this year, isn't
I think so.
Really?
He'd be one that if I can, I'll figure out a way so that he can
that
come
would
and
be
talk
awesome,
to the kids.
Because
he? Honestly, just to
who
hear.
doesn't know Pimpinela? Everybody knows.
Oh,
Pimpinela.
everybody.
And when he starts opening up and you hear his story, oh my goodness.
Yes.
You're like, you want to like hug the guy, like, thank you for doing this, man.
And he's
Seriously.
actually a tough son of a
Oh,
bitch.
dude.
Oh
he's-
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't get a raquetazo from him because you will.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but I think it'll leave a longer lasting than Dr. Wagner. So.
Well, I'm gonna put it out there, and I'm gonna make the challenge. If we can get people to actually sign up for this boot camp that we want to have in June, and if we're able to get Pimpinela, I'll bring her over to here to the show,
Okay.
and I'll get Pimpinela to give me a chop across the chest. Just for that. Just because I'm starting to warm up to you guys. That's the only reason I'll do
She's a
it.
very humble person, man.
Huh?
She's a very humble person.
Yes, she is.
That's awesome.
That, and I know there's another one, and it was like they're big. They were rivals, or they're big rivals. The girls from Nuevo Laredo. I had her name. La Mamba.
Oh, yeah, Mamba, she's from Laredo.
She's from Nuevo Laredo.
Laredo, but grew up in Laredo also.
Yep. So
Yeah, he started out with the wrestling,
Mamba?
with the mask, lost the mask, and his career took off after that. And that dude, she's very humble.
yes.
Also as well.
So
Kudos to him. I listened to some of his backstories and the heartaches that he's gone through, everything he's put up with. Also, it's not easy being an exotic wrestler, man.
no.
It's almost like twice as hard.
That's what she said.
Facts.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting to listen to their humble beginnings and where they maintain themselves, and they're still people persons. I don't care how famous they've gone. Like both of them are they're big rivals, but in reality, well, I don't want to say, but they're big for us too. But where they are now, none of the exotic wrestlers have ever been there.
No.
And I've been watching this as Beo Greco, Sergio Hermoso, from the very beginning, from the 70s, 80s. It was a whole different thing. With them, it's just, I don't know, 10 next levels. I can't really describe it, but that's how I would best describe it.
And like I said, I mean, I really want to get this going as soon as possible. Like I said, we're just pending on that little detail. As soon as we can get that going, because this academy is going to be open. We want to have everybody and anybody that wants to join. So we're going to have Greco-Roman wrestling. We're also going to be having wrestling. We're going to be having a little bit of lucha libre. Where all this wrestling is headed to right now, I don't know if you guys heard, but WWE just acquired AAA.
Yep.
So what they're going to be doing, and what I foresee happening, is this new hybrid of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
We have been doing it here in Laredo for a while, where we have the wrestling style, and then you have the lucha libre style, and it'll be combined.
It's a fusion.
It's a fusion, so that's where we want to go. That's my vision of having this academy. I want to be able to get these kids to become a character, for them to step out of their own shoes and become a character. That's going to give them the confidence. That's going to give them all these tools, so that they can apply it to their daily life.
Absolutely, man. As I mentioned to you last time also, that you're doing this at a perfect time, because like for you or for us, that we grew up when there was the Attitude Era and all this kind of different stuff. We would travel just to go see wrestling matches here and there because of what was going on, DX and all this other crazy stuff that wasn't never done before in wrestling when I grew up. With Southwestern Wrestling, World Class Championship, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was just mainly wrestling. Yeah, Ric Flair, the Four Horsemen, they flared it up a little bid, but it was still, you could still feel it's just wrestling. It's wrestling. It was wrestling.
Yeah. Yes.
And then when the Attitude Era kicked in, and then WCW started competing against WWE, all this crazy stuff, that was an awesome era.
Yes.
And then after that, they kind of went through phases, but not eras. But what Paul is doing, what Triple H is doing now, and the merging of AAA, and this is going to be a whole new era. And you doing this now, you're going to see maybe some of your products off of it later on. Your return on investment, you're going to see it.
God willing.
So that's cool. You'll have cameo from the OG guys come in, and that's pretty cool, man. We wish you the best of luck. This is something that me personally, as a big lucha fan, I've always wanted to see here.
Yes.
But I never really thought there was a big following for it. Yeah, you see wrestling matches like us, man. Growing up, right, TJ, we would have like big wrestling events at his house, and dude, it was crazy. But I think now with the younger generations, and they're seeing a whole different wrestling on TV. Now you have some of their heroes turning heels, like John Cena, Seth, and now with Paul Heyman, and like worlds collided.
Oh yeah.
Things that we would think about, like nah, it never happened. It just did.
Yep.
once again, it collided. So that's good, man. Kudos to you, man. And we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
Whatever you need from us, I'm a big supporter.
Hey, we got a couple of shout-outs. Shout-outs from Juan Cabos, also Ricky Ruiz, Ramiro Gonzalez. They say thank you for everything. Thank you.
Is that Ricky Ruiz on the Scorpions?
Hello, says Juan.
Hey Ricky, how you doing, man? You all
Rick?
sounded awesome. They had a big conjunto event this past weekend, and Ricky and the guys knocked it out of the park. So congratulations, guys. Keep it up. Always real proud of the Laredo talent, and especially trying to keep our culture and our music alive. So again, big shout out to Ricky and the boys. We'll get back to Lucio in a bit, but there's a couple of topics, guys, that I wanted to bring up that are in the forefront of all the media outlets right now. One of them is the big bond issue. Bring it up. So let me go back. So this show, guys, is supposed to be about positivity. We know what the problems are. We don't want to hear them. We want to hear solutions. So the people that we're bringing in are movers and shakers. Sometimes in front of the stage, sometimes behind the scenes. Most of the time behind the scenes. And that's what we want to showcase. People that are trying to make a difference for Laredo and trying to put Laredo on the map in a bunch of different industries. Just such as athletics with what Lucy's trying to do with the wrestling academy, and Southland here with a station internet station keeping Tejano music alive, which a lot of us would really be bothered if Tejano music went away because we grew up with that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So and then Bojo keeping the Mexican hobo view.
Arriba razón.
Arriba los pobres peludos. But anyway, so everybody's doing their thing. We're all doing our thing. So this broadcast is supposed to be for that. But so right now the big thing in Laredo is a big election on a bond that was suggested and put together that's going to affect all of us with our taxes. Okay. And I'm just going to say one thing. And if anybody wants to chime in, they want to call in, or they want to send a message, great. We want to hear from you.
Please.
But I think the biggest problem is, and Bojo and I were talking about this before we started, there's a lot of people against it. They're vocally against it. And look, there's no way that Laredo cannot get better unless we pay more tax. That's just the way it is. A lot of politicians in Laredo will run on that promise, no new taxes, no new taxes. What is the Raza going to say? It was great, no new taxes. But what does that mean? No new services, no new opportunities, no new people coming in to invest in Laredo.
Más carne asada.
But pura carne asada, that's all it is. It's keeping the cardiologist real fat and healthy and wealthy. But again, so we have to have taxes taken away. We have to pay our taxes, and we have to sometimes sacrifice a little bit. Instead of having 5 carne asadas a week, we'll have 4, or we'll have 3, and we'll get by. But here's the deal. I know that Bojo, because I know that he has some comments. We're not gonna come to you and say you should vote or you shouldn't vote. That's, again, we're not gonna get involved with that. We're just trying to present both sides. On one side, without taxes, we cannot move forward. On the other side, I think it's the lack of trust that money is gonna go to where they're saying it's gonna go. Because of the history of Laredo, because of corruption, because of mishandling, because, oh, now I have this money, but I said I was going to work on infrastructure, but I need a park with my name on it. So, again, it's our fault, Laredo. It's our fault for not having special interest groups. It's our fault for not having watchdog groups to make sure that our politicians do what they're supposed to do. We got to hold them accountable. We have a lot of great politicians, and we also have some really shitty ones. But the great ones, we need to support them 100%. They need to know that we got their back, and to fight against the corruption and the negativity that's holding Laredo back. That's all I'm gonna say. Bojo?
Yeah, you know what? And to piggyback on that, TJ, I'm thinking. So, there's a saying in Spanish, "El que no lee, todo cree." And I kind of agree with that, because I used to hate hearing people say, not because he's my favorite or not, but I used to say, no, I hate Trump. Me cae mal el trompudo. Like, okay, really? Well, why? Compadre, ¿por qué no nos cae Trump? Mahomes, you tell me why you don't like Trump.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is we need to educate ourselves a little bit, and where this is going, TJ, not to stir up the pot anymore. That Trump stuff, that's done. He's our president, like it or not. What I wanted to say with that is, can we invite? You know what? Let's invite somebody who is savvy on this bond issue. Step up. We'll give you a mic. We'll give you the time that you need, and explain to us exactly the pros and the cons of this bond issue is. I think a lot of people would like to know exactly why, because I'm a big go vote person.
Right.
Because I'm also big where, if you didn't vote, you can't complain. You've lost that right. So I want everybody to go vote, whether you vote for it, you vote against it, that is your liberty and God-given right to do, that we protect. So if there's anybody out there, whether it be part of the city or somebody, an attorney, somebody who's real good real savvy on this bond, that can come up and just tell us, you know what guys, this is the pros if we do this, this is the cons, and like TJ says, we have to, if it comes out of our taxes, it comes out of our taxes. Anybody who's been a business owner will know, if you put money into it, you'll get money out of it.
That's right.
As one of my idols, Knievel used to say, little risk equals little reward. So it's up to us, and we want to do it. Nobody's forcing us to do it now. They're presenting something which I'm for, and this is what the podcast is all about. This is something new for Laredo. Now let's vote on it. There's been in years past when the LEA and yes, no, and then nobody showed up to vote, or very little turnout, and then everybody was complaining, our taxes are going up. Where were you when they told you speak up? I want to hear your opinion. And that's called a vote. So Laredo, let's get savvy on the bond, start reading up maybe on our own, or again, I challenge anybody who's out there that has more knowledge on this or a total knowledge on it, so that we can listen to the pros and the cons, and let's make a conscious decision on who or what we're going to vote for. And at the end of the day, we got to stick to our guns. That's what we voted for, or that's what we didn't. And this is how it's going to work. Because right now it's the bond. And then later on, it's going to be another investor who wants to do that dream water park that every Laredo thinks we can do. Nobody really knows, or nobody can really explain to me why we can't have it. And I'm sure somebody out there, part of the
What's
city
that?
council.
The water park?
Yeah.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Right.
Because it's not that hot in Laredo.
Oh.
No, speaking of hot, there's been times where they tell the devil, hey, devil, we're going to go to Laredo. You want to go? It's like, hell no, that place is hot, man. I ain't going there. But anyway, going back to what we're talking about, so this is the kind of things that, right now it's the bond, and then somebody else is going to bring something up. Are we just going to keep, ignoring the elephant in the room, or are we going to move forward and make a decision, and we support, we don't support? But let's let this person, whoever is coming up with the idea, let them know. This is what we think. I think it's good, but if we were all savvy on it, as Mr. Lucio said over there, we could make a better decision on it and support or not support it. Or maybe modify it. We have to modify it. You think the NAFTA was built overnight, even though it's the worst that ever happened to the international trade? It wasn't drummed up overnight. It took several years.
And here's the thing that, people complain about the streets. People complain about services. People complain every single day
The
about
infrastructure.
something. Exactly. And when it comes to voting, nobody shows up. Nobody shows up.
Prime example, Southland, the Loop right now.
There we go.
Everybody's like, hey, what do you do with the Loop and this and that, right? And now they're expanding it. They're doing this. I can't move it. I hate driving through here. Hello, people. But you don't complain when you go to San Antonio and everything's shut down and bridge over bridge, and there you are driving all over San Antonio. This is the kind of things that need to happen to move forward, to get something good.
Yeah.
But the Loop was a prime example. I hear nothing but complaint. OMG, but anyway. But that's just my take on it.
Yeah, it's so our culture, guys. Our culture is, the mentality is not the best. We love to complain. We love to hear the chisme. We love to talk shit, but nobody wants to do anything. And in this case, even if you think your vote doesn't matter, I mean, it's hard. It's a hard concept to understand and to accept, because you don't see the big picture. Unfortunately, we're all doubting Thomases, and if you know anything about religion, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't see it, you don't believe it, right? So unfortunately, a lot of people in our community and in our culture are like that. If I don't see it, I don't believe it. And in our culture, it's weird because we'll see the Mother Virgin in a tortilla, but we won't see the concept of why it's important to go vote. We don't understand that concept.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you right now, even though you think it's not important, your little single vote, my little single vote, Bojo's single vote, Lucio can't vote because he's a fucking convict.
He'll probably buy the votes.
But he'll buy votes, like.
A couple.
Yeah. So, but if you put it all together, and that's how our leaders in the political world get their feedback. Either doing something wrong or something right. Now, they have other information. They have background information on the bonds and the plans and stuff. And it's their responsibility to explain it to us in layman's terms so that we can understand it. The secrecy and no, we can't tell you because you're not going to understand it, will try us. We have a lot of educated people in Laredo that we can understand.
Absolutely.
If you talk to us.
That's right.
But also, those educated people, a lot of times don't care. They're very negative, they're very distrusting, and rightly so because of the history in the past.
Yeah.
But we're asking you to take a chance for the better good of our community and get involved. Good.
Shout out going out to Cindy Hernandez from Cinderella Promotions. Thank you so much, Cindy, for
Hey, Cindy, how you doing?
watching. Also, Mr. Joe Barron.
That's right.
There you go.
Joe. Give us a call, man. Let us know how it
Is he
went
watching?
Oh,
at
wow.
the Spectrum Music Festival this past weekend. Give us a shout out. Let us know.
Shout out.
Update us.
That's right. And also, to everyone, to all the viewers, please give us a call, text us, send us a text on the chat. Let us know if you have any questions. Or give us a call at 956-813-7737. Again, 956-813-7737.
All right, so that's enough on the bond issue, guys. I just want to, kind of bring it up because it's a
getting
hot
close.
button topic here on the radio right now, and
Voting's
there's
getting
a lot of advertisements, a lot of money being put. I've seen police officers out there putting up signs in support through the association in support of it. Why? Because they stand to make, hopefully get some money out of this bond to build a new station or training, whatever they want to use. Firemen, also first responders, even though the PDs referred to as first responders, firemen are referred to as second responders.
Oh,
Guys. I'm joking. It's a joke.
You have to go
I have to go there because it's a friendly competition between us and the
Firefighter community, chime in, man. I don't know what you think about that.
But yeah, my house is gonna be burning down. They're gonna forget which way to go. Oh shit! I thought it was that way. But anyway, so a lot of people are involved. It's getting more and more attention and more heated as it gets close. But again, if you're gonna go vote, guys, be educated, understand the concept, the consequence of either voting or not voting. It's all the consequence.
Yeah.
Whether you vote or not, it's a consequence. But if you voted and it didn't go your way, like a lot of you, Trump haters and supporters, whatever, whichever way you voted, I mean, that's things are happening the way they're supposed to happen. So the only thing you can control is your own vote. That's it. But if you don't get involved, then like Bo just said earlier, then you don't have much to talk about because you didn't vote. All right, switching gears a little bit, guys. Deportation equity. Let me bring this up. The Trump administration is going after our people hard. You hear people being deported to Honduras, to El Salvador, everywhere in droves. They even deported 3 American citizen little girls with their families. These are American citizens. And that's fine. If they want to enforce the rules that hard, go for it. It's part of the law. But let me tell you one thing. Do you guys think that illegal aliens only come in our color? You know how many white illegal aliens are in the north side next to Canada? A lot of people from England, from Germany, that came in illegally, that are here illegally. Why don't we hear anything about them? Why the hell are you fucking only with brown people? We're not the only ones. you need to secure. You want to secure the border, secure the entire United States. Because guess what? A lot of shit's happening to Canada. So why don't you turn the chair up a little bit and aim your gun north instead of just south? Come on, let's be fair. Why? Because they look like you, right? Because they're white. Guess what? If I don't speak and I go to freaking Washington D.C. and I don't speak, I look white. Nobody's gonna tell me shit until they either see my name or hear me speak. Other than that, I can blend in with white people. No big deal. I'm not light skinned. But again, let's be fair. If we want to talk about deporting people, start deporting everybody, not just our people, not just our people. Start deporting everybody. I'm just saying, be fair. That's all I'm saying. I mean, they gotta look at it. They gotta look at it on both sides. All right, they really gotta look at it. So, anyway, like I said, just a little blurb I wanted to throw in there. We talked about the bond. We talked about that. I will say this, in our first guest just got here, we'll put him on right now. Another thing I want to talk about is the conclave coming up. I believe it's 13 days, right? Hey, all the bishops, all the cardinals, whatever, everybody under 80 years old.
Is it 13 days already?
No, 13 days of the conclave, I think,
Yeah.
right?
What day are we?
No, they haven't started. I don't
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I need to check. But what I'm saying is that anybody under 80 gets to go in. Everybody over 80 has to sit it out.
I didn't qualify.
Yeah, no, well. So I guess, I don't know why. Yeah. But,
Keep your comments to yourself. Mr.
yeah,
Secretary.
nobody, look.
Security, can we get him out? I mean, he did his skill already.
They've already been watched.
You know what? Only because an attorney's here, we're gonna kind of refrain ourselves a little bit.
Yeah,
But as soon as he's
yeah,
gone,
but he's on our side too.
well,
see.
well, that's right, that's right.
I wouldn't be fucking.
And you know what, TJ? We just got gifted something here.
That's right. You know what, Mr. Martinez, we're gonna talk about this dirty money that this guy, but you know what, he's a defense attorney, so he might actually help him out. I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
You know what? Stick around. Let's see what your demise will be tonight. Stick around.
Oh my God. All right. We had other topics, guys, but we're gonna go and move on for our first guest. So we have a local attorney, Mr. Silverio Martinez. I'm really proud of him because he's a homegrown kid from Nixon High School.
Of course.
Way to go, bro.
And that's, you know what, a lot of good stuff has come out of
Sometimes
Nixon
you
High
play
School.
for the horse there in the back.
I know.
We should have gone the Nixon band to come in
Oh,
as he was
man.
coming in.
Forever green and gold.
There you go. Forever green and gold.
Green and gold.
So we're gonna let him tell us a little bit about himself and what he does. I would love to hear about. He's got a bunch of stories of some of the cases. I don't want to get into that too much, but I do want to talk about what you've done, how you grew up, and how you got here today. So please take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Silverio Martinez. I've been a practicing attorney here in Laredo for 24 years now. 24
Wow.
years, going on 25. And yeah, homegrown, born and raised in Laredo. I went to Alma Pierce
Wow.
Elementary, and then I went to private school. My mom was worried about sending me to Lamar because all my friends from the barrio were bad. But then I went to Nixon after that, so
You caught up with the
I
band.
caught up. I was actually, I ended up being
I
worse
sure
than
knew
them.
what the bad.
Yeah.
They were tame compared to the way I got out of middle school. But yes, and so I went to university at UT in Austin, and then graduate school at U of H, and law school at South Texas.
South Texas, wow. Oh, so whole 3 years to do there, or how many years?
Law school 3 years.
3 years, right?
A year of my master's and 4 years undergrad.
Awesome. Awesome. How tough is that? I think I told you this before that one time, and I'm still thinking about it in my age. But shut up, Lucio. Shut the hell up. Okay.
I
Just
did.
make sure.
I didn't say anything. You said it yourself.
Yeah, whatever.
I thought about it.
It's full of shit. So I have to say. So the bar. How difficult is the bar?
Well, actually, it's getting easier. It was tough when I took it, and I'm not just saying that because I took it, but a lot of the guys my age will tell you it used to be a 3-day test, and it was strictly Texas, and and then there was one or two extra sections that you would have to take. I don't remember exactly, but bottom line, it was 3 days, and it was strictly Texas. Now apparently they've reduced it to 2 days, and it now applies like multi-state. So you can take a test or a version of it where it's you'd be licensed in a lot of the states, not all of them, but a lot of them. So like, and then there's a lot of states in the union that will do reciprocal.
I was about to say, they have to have their reciprocity agreement.
Right.
For you to be able to. So now if you wanted to do that, do you have to retake it, or how do you become certified?
So, I mean, I would have to retake some of it, the multi-state
Got it,
one.
only that part.
Only that part. But I haven't really looked into it. It may be that, like, whenever I've practiced in Florida, I've practiced in Louisiana, I've practiced in California, I've practiced in New York. And whenever I do that, I just ask for special permission. There's
Just
a way
for the case.
Right. There's a way to ask for the court to approve you on that one particular case, especially if you don't think you're going to be practicing there all the time. You just got one good case that you have to, or a good client that you need to go represent in another state. They'll allow you. Federally, though, I mean, we're able to practice, everywhere. Except that you do have to get sort of permission if you're not licensed in that particular district. Yeah. So, I don't know. It seems like it's been getting a little easier to get licenses nowadays.
So you know what? Check this out. In basic training, when we went in the early 90s, I mean, we got shut the hell up. Who?
Tell you, man.
Why is he still here?
Stop saying it, man.
It's on the table. I understand.
No, that's so basic training, early 90s. I mean, the drill sergeant was okay. Vietnam, I mean, they got the recruits got beat up. Those drill sergeants they were fighting them. It was bad. We got the tail end of that. I mean, I still saw people get pushed. I saw people get hit while they were
It
push
was
ups.
called wall to wall.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the soap parties were still allowed. I mean,
I know what you're talking about.
The code reds.
The code reds in the Marine Corps. Yeah. So that discipline was still allowed. It was looked. People look the other way. Now the recruits have a little stress card that when you're screaming too much at them. So that happened 10, 15 years ago. A lot of my friends that were on the trail, meaning they were drill sergeants, they quit. They're like, I don't want any part of this. We're creating a bunch of weak men and women.
Wussies.
A bunch of wussies.
Yeah.
And so, but I think that's across the board for everything. I mean, so we've gone from left to right, now we gotta bring it back somewhere. Because
Or from right to left.
Right to left. But what I'm saying is that 3 days of a test, and holy shit, I can barely handle an hour with my ADD.
Just the LSAT, bro.
Yeah, well, just trying to get the freaking else out of the way.
Yeah, the bar was 8 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think we're watering the standards down a little bit. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. Could we have been overdoing it back then, and now we're catching up, or we overdid it now to where it's too soft and we need to bring it back?
Well, my opinion is that kids nowadays can't handle it. The kids from 10, 15 years ago are becoming adults now. And those kids are the Generation Z or
Z and Y.
Z, whatever.
Well, Z, actually, Z, you're right.
And I mean, they're not, hard work. First, they're not hard workers. Second, everybody wants to be rich now without working for it. Without having I was looking at some numbers and statistics, and I noticed that one of the statistics said 57% of the young population now, the labor force age, 57% of them, they hope to be influencers. That's what they say.
Wow, that's their goal.
That's their goal in life, to be influencers.
Easy money.
57% of the young labor force.
Wow.
Yeah, so everybody thinks that now kids, everybody thinks that they can get rich. They can get rich without working, and they can get rich. Who the heck wants to go to school anymore? I mean, it doesn't pay. It's hard work. Who wants to be a lawyer or doctor anymore? Nobody really.
Yeah,
Nobody.
You're right. You're very right.
And they want to make money fast. They want to make money easily without having to lift a finger.
You know what? So our generation, because I know you're a little younger than I am. We talked about this, but shut the hell up again.
I'm just stating the
Cuando
truth.
diga vacinilla abajo de la cama, contesto.
This is a- Your age is showing.
Is that the heckler that you bring in?
This is
the guy.
This is a wrestling promoter. So
Okay.
you know how he's
You're used to
fucking-
heckling.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Oh, of course.
That's why we got arrested for heckling in public. So you might want to go.
No, trust me.
So what we ran newspaper routes. We worked at pizza places in Washington. We did whatever we had to cut lawns to make money. We wanted to make money.
We wanted to work.
Yes, we wanted to work, and so there's a theory in psychology. You have to learn how to do two things. First, you have to learn how to love. One, yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a positive way to where you take care of yourself physically, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, you name it. Then you can learn how to love somebody else, your family, whatever.
Exactly.
The other one is you have to know how to work. If you don't know how to work, you're gonna fail. Influencing, there is some work to it, of course. It's like this. You know, we get here an hour before. Fred's the one that takes the brunt of setting everything up. And while Bojo and I are sitting here drinking stuff that nobody knows what's in here. But and preparing the notes and stuff. So and then the whole week, talking to you, can you make it, explaining what it's about. There's a lot of work to get here. But influencing is a whole different story. To live off this, I don't know how people can. I don't know. Maybe we're not there yet. But 57. To me that's a huge percentage of kids. And of course,
And
technology.
another, staggering statistic percentage that I saw was about 40% of the households in America have a man between the ages of 30 and 40 living there with mama
Yes.
and daddy,
Okay.
doing nothing.
Thank you for bringing that up. Again, we go back to we're losing men in this country. I have a 15-year-old daughter. She's going to be 16, and I am worried about her finding a real man. And this is what I mean: a man that knows how to work, a male. Now, because just because you have genitalia that belong to a male doesn't mean you're a man. Men that know how to work, men that know how to take care of themselves and then take care of others, provide the basic necessities of shelter, security, water, food, all that stuff. It's hard to find. Like you said, these people. I left the house. My mom passed away when I was 16, and after that, I was gone. I didn't have a house anymore. I was pushed into that. At 18, I went to the military. At 20, I was a cop. So I grew up like that. I had no, I'm sure you had, and thank God you had that opportunity, but you had that time to go to UT and party and socialize. I didn't. I was arresting people here. And I don't care because that was my destiny, and yet you and I are here and we're all together, which is how life is like that. What I'm saying is that I didn't have the normal upbringing, and it's okay because it showed me a lot.
But interesting you say that, because the difference between my generation that went to college and the generation now that goes to college is that when I went to college, my mom and dad, who didn't have an education, my mother didn't work. My dad worked, at CPL. That's where he worked. When I went, I said, "Hey, I want to go to college." It's like,
Yes.
okay, pues que te vaya bien.
Yeah. No support.
No, it's
Yeah.
like, how are you planning to pay for this? Because I'm not paying crap. and you go on, you pick up your stuff and you go on your own. Y a ver cómo le haces.
Yeah.
That's the way it was. I mean, for me, I know there's a lot of my friends that did have the support, but there was a lot of us, especially from Nixon, that we were on our own. And nowadays, like I tell my kids, it's like, hey, you've already beat the system. You know how you're graduating with zero debt.
Yep.
Zero debt.
Absolutely.
I mean, you are starting at a plus.
Yeah.
You're starting life at a plus. We started life at a negative,
Big
at
negative.
a huge, like a home mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, imagine law school, $300,000 debt.
That's crazy.
Those are crazy debts. I mean, but either you, at the time, you think, well, either I, bite the bullet and do it and see how I pay later. I'll worry about that later, or not, or don't get educated, and then you run the risk that you just don't, make it or don't make as much as you want to make. But at that age, I was not thinking, well, I'll just get a fans only page or something like that, which is what people do nowadays.
But you
And get rich.
You have OnlyFans, don't you?
I do, but it's for a certain generation only.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's for all the blind people.
Got it.
I mean, you have to be blind to look at my OnlyFans. You know what? Shut the fuck up.
Hey, all I was gonna say is that you'll probably end up blind if you actually see it.
I just don't think there's enough of this.
I don't know. So, but no, you know what? Again, so this is what we enjoy. We enjoy bringing in smart people, people that have done stuff, that can have a conversation. And what I like, Silverio, is that right now people are seeing, I remember when I was with DEA and the signing, we go to federal court and you were always there. I didn't even know you were the younger brother to a classmate of mine, until recently. But anyway, I remember seeing you and I'm like, okay, you know what? Because you look younger than what you are. You really do.
Thanks.
But so I would see you, I'm like,
Right
okay,
now?
attorneys, right? But once you get to, right now people are going to get to see.
He's already a sponsor.
Yeah.
Relax.
We're trying to keep the sponsor. No, my point is that right now we're people are trying to see the human side, because behind the suit, behind the uniform, behind whatever, we all have a human side, and we all have a way of thinking and getting through life. So this is cool.
But not only that, TJ, but also that Mr. Martinez is humble enough to talk about it. Because a lot of people are like, that's my life, and they don't want don't pry into my life. But you're here to give the example and your upbringing, your humble upbringings, and then it's doable. It is doable, and that's the challenge to kids nowadays, where as you all said, no, they want everything and don't want to do anything for it.
Mm-hmm.
They feel so entitled, and if this hurts somebody's feelings, tough. They're your kids. You're the parents. Fix them. Too easy. Only 3 things we're going to educate your kids. You, the family, the parents, the streets, or the police.
Yeah.
You all make up your mind which one it is. So anyway, that's all I was saying. So, and then to hear your story, that's pretty nice. That's pretty humble of you, man. And I appreciate that, like TJ said. But going back to what you were saying, soccer times, aren't they like now giving like puberty blockers and stuff like that? So they just want to produce more women and totally annihilate men. Like I don't understand that.
I think that's blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
I think that the amount of that goes on, which have any of you ever heard of that go on anywhere near your life?
No.
I haven't.
Only Lucio.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's done that twice in his life already. So
I got over that.
Lucio's the type that takes suppositories, but like horse suppositories.
I was once,
That was just once. But
I was drunk and never again.
Hey, what happens in Vegas
Stays in Vegas.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
That it's on OnlyFans?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's AI.
Yeah, it's AI.
We diverse, go ahead.
No, what I was saying is that I don't think it.
No,
I don't
not
think it
No,
really.
it's
I mean,
not
it
close
really,
to home, no.
really, the percentage is like 1% of the, youth in America, or less. Maybe 1% of 1% has the issue of they're so psychologically confused or scarred or whatever it is that they need gender modifying drugs. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
But you can find that 1% of that 1% and then emphasize it so
Yeah.
much that everybody starts thinking that that's the issue that
Yeah.
I should be concerned with today. I don't think that's the issue that we should be concerned with today.
Actually, you're right, because that's what the media's gonna grab onto.
Yep.
Big
That's-
mainstream.
The media's gonna pick up and grab onto whatever pisses people off. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what they want because it's what
It's
sells.
not what starts a conversation. It's not what starts an argument. That's what they're trying. That's what they buy.
They like the drama and of course whatever sells.
Whatever sells it.
Yeah,
Whatever sells it.
and again, that I could get started on that. I have major thoughts about how the problem with the media and the press now is that the problem is too much capitalism, not too much socialism. Okay,
Yeah.
it's run ever since the media became owned by big, corporate conglomerates. Forget Walter Cronkite, and
Oh, wow.
when you had real journalism,
Yes.
when you were like, I wonder how this guy really feels about what he's talking about, and you didn't know because they never spun it. They gave you the
Go to
most
the facts.
factual synopsis of the news that you could get, and you make up your mind. Now it's all about spinning it. Everybody has a spin to it, and why? Because we've allowed it to be run by money.
Yeah.
Anytime you let money run a business or a whole segment of an industry, forget it. It's not gonna. I mean, especially when it's the fourth branch of government.
Sure.
The fourth branch of government is extremely important.
Yeah.
That's the media,
Yeah.
the press. It's so important that it's the first. It's in our very first amendment, and we let it be run by huge business conglomerates that all they care about is the bottom line.
They did
And
it
when they
once,
care
yeah.
about the bottom line, they're not going to tell you the truth.
Yeah, they did it once with the Vietnam War.
I was about to
They
say.
checked all that, and then it kind of died out a little bit. And then when we got spun up and Desert Storm and all, it happened again. Who came about? I'm not going to say it, but those 3 letters, CNN. They were all over it, and here we go. It's just started a repeat cycle.
It's all about money. It's all
Yeah.
about sponsors and money.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like us here, we're a growing process, and eventually, we do need sponsors to go and do bigger and better things. But that should not be the
reason why.
leading factor as to which way we're going to go. We need to stick to our values in this program about keeping it real, about not choosing a side, about
Not
not
compromising
politicizing.
ourselves.
It's just trying to present, like right now when you walked in, we're talking about, deportation and equity. They're going after Hispanics in the South. What about all these, Anglo-Saxon illegal immigrants on the North side? We have a lot of illegal immigrants from England, from everywhere.
But
How come you go after them? Why? Because they look like you, right? Not you, I'm saying.
Because we don't. I mean, it's very obvious that we don't mind the light-colored ones.
Oh, yeah,
We only mind the brown ones.
Yeah, the brown ones and the
But
dark
you know
ones.
what you do? It's even, they're getting deported now, but even before they were imported or brought into the States, so everybody had an opportunity. Folks from Haiti and Venezuela and everybody, they had this program, they had this assistance, blah, blah, blah. But you know who the only ones that they never helped? The Mexicans. Why?
Why?
That
Because
they
There
never
was
help.
wet foot for the Cubans and all this. Why not the Mexicans?
I talk about
Never. Helping them. Like,
like-
oh, you come over, we'll give you this.
No.
Everybody was
Well,
giving
because
extra
they were
stuff.
screaming asylum.
And I don't know, but the Mexicans were never.
Well,
and then yet they're the first ones to go back.
Here's the
Yeah.
truth. You throw somebody today, they'll be back here tomorrow. So
Oh, yeah.
it's okay. That's why nobody cares. Anyway, but because and it's true. It's true. So, all right. So, so you're gonna tell us a little bit about your practice, what you specialize in, what you. I don't want to get into specific cases, none of that. Unless you want to, but no, I want to know about
That's a whole different.
your
podcast.
experiences, your experience as to what your specialty is.
Well, when I graduated from law school, my first job was insurance defense, and these real nice lawyers that I really like here in Laredo hired me before I passed the bar. And so my first experience in working was defending insurance companies, car wrecks. It was kind of boring for me, especially since I had just graduated from law school and I wanted to try cases, not just be doing reports and discovery in the office. I went to the DA's. I got hired by the DA's office.
Okay.
So I said, they offered me a job at the DA's office, and I went over there because I knew I was going to be in court all the time, not just doing basically legal research and writing what I was doing in the civil world. So that's what got me into criminal practice. So as a DA, I worked there for only like a little over 3 years, like almost 4 years. But I became the chief of the narcotics unit and the domestic violence unit. I was there for a while at the top, and just trying case after case after case after case because it was just free trials, free experience. If you lose, at the end of the day, what happens? The guy goes free. I mean, you don't hurt anyone, And so, as a young lawyer, it's a great job. It's a great job because I always tell the DAs that are in there, you can try a lot of cases. So that's what got me into criminal defense. And then after the DA's office, I went to work for a commercial civil litigation firm, and I did that for a while. And so when I went out on my own completely, I sort of combined everything. And so my specialty is criminal defense because that's where I try cases. But I do a lot of commercial litigation, and I'm trying to do more, but it's very difficult to get into that area of the law is personal injury, car wrecks, and it's because of the ambulance chasing that goes on.
You gotta be real careful how.
Well, the thing is that we're overrun by out of town firms that have nothing but runners in town. That's all they do. That's all they have. And I don't want to speak ill of any out of town firm, but it is what happens. And I'm not singling anyone out, but it is what happens. There are a lot of lawyers from out of town that all they have is an office here in town, and they have an investigator, and that's all they do. That's all they do is pick up. They befriend cops, they befriend firefighters, wrecker services, body shops, and they give huge cuts, for big cases. And so it's very hard to get into that business. But but it's a crime.
Yes,
it's a crime.
Right.
And it's a crime for a reason, is because it sort of pressures people, and especially with lawyers that are, usually a little more cunning and able to get you to do stuff.
No, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
So look. First of all, congratulations on your own firm, your own practice, because that's not easy. I mean, being an attorney is not easy, working for a DA's office is not easy, but now you run your own business, you have employees, you have overhead costs, plus you have to make sure you have enough clients to sustain you. So that's not easy. Not a lot of people can do that. I've seen a lot of attorneys that try it, and then they go back to work for the city, work for the county. Why? Because it's safe. They don't have to worry about all that stuff, the insurance and all that. So here, you are your own man. You either make it or break it on your own, and that's not easy. So
it's a special breed of
it
us.
It is. Not everybody can do it. So I commend you on that because it's not easy. First of all, running a business is not easy. Now, on top of that, being in the position you are as an attorney. That in itself is not easy. So now you're combining both, and now you're responsible for employees. Their livelihood is riding on you and your cases. So I wanna commend you on that.
Yep.
Not everybody can do that stuff. So it sounds easy, but I know for sure
It sounds glamorous
and
sometimes,
it does.
but it's not.
It's not
It's
because the constant crap. I'm sure.
It's those shows on TV that make it look so glamorous, right?
So I was watching Suits, and I think I called you and I asked you how real is that, and he looked at me like, all these years of telling people like, don't believe the cops will, right? Mel Gibson kills 40 people in a gunfight, and he goes right back out to the street.
Yeah.
So I would imagine it's the same. It's fun to watch, as an outsider, but you as an insider, like, it's crap.
Yeah. There are some that are somewhat realistic, but there's a lot of glamour, in those shows and it's for purposes of making people want to be lawyers.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, let me tell you. So growing up, I grew up with Perry Mason, watching Perry Mason, right? Defense attorney.
We does viejo.
So that was before my time too, but I love watching movies. Shut the fuck up, Luke. Who
Yeah, that wasn't me. That was your co-host.
That was all you.
Well, that was-
No, I can't say. I can't. I mean, I was gonna say something.
Did you text him?
He beat me to it.
Whatever.
He forced me to say
So-
that.
So,
Okay.
being a cop, my mentality is always, screw the bad guy, screw the defense attorney, blah, blah, blah. But as I got educated, and as I remember growing up, there's a reason for defense. It's got to be fair and impartial. That's what our judicial system is based on. It's a system where one side tries to prove the point against the other one, and it's only fair, if I'm going to accuse you of a crime, that you have the best representation available, right? Doesn't always happen. If you don't have the means, you're going to get a public defender, and they may not be at the level that they're supposed to be. Not all of them, right? Because none of them are good. What I'm saying is that there is a purpose. If I'm going to get wrongfully accused, which I have in my career, I want someone to freaking back me up and to help me prove it. So at first, naive, 20-year-old cop, I'm always right. The bad guy's always wrong. Fuck him. I don't give a shit. And as you get older and get more mature, that's why my mentality now that I've gotten older is that cops should be allowed in the 20s, at least 30 and above. Because now they know more stuff about life, and they can be a little more understanding, a little more empathetic to people. Because when you're that young, you don't know anything.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I always see it like in the younger the cop, you notice the ignorance basically
Yes.
that they, like you just said, the system doesn't work. It's not that it's fair if you have a good lawyer. It's that it doesn't work if you have one kink in the armor. Okay, if there's one missing link. So the defense lawyer has to be good, the prosecutor has to be good, and the cops have to be good in order for justice to prevail. Mm-hmm. As soon as you have one kink, one bad lawyer, one bad cop,
One slip up.
then justice does not prevail.
Yeah.
And it might be because the state didn't do something that they were supposed to do, or didn't do it right, or maybe it just sucks at arguing, and you lose something that you should have gotten a conviction for. And you had a much better defense attorney, and the defense attorney got a guilty guy off. That happens. Or on the other side of the coin is you have a shitty case that the guy should not get convicted for, right? And you have a shitty defense attorney, and there's another lapse right there. But the thing is, like, and I've always noticed, cops. Especially with cops, and I have a lot of friends that are cops, and they're usually, and the younger they are, the more likely they're going to be like this. Oh yeah, oh, they're all guilty. Oh, I'll flip the switch. I don't care. Oh, come on, he's guilty. Oh, come on, he's guilty. If he got arrested, he's guilty. They all have this type, and a lot of people think the same way too. And then as soon as their son gets a DWI, or his son gets arrested for having sex with his girlfriend, she was underage, or whatever. All of a sudden, that cop's, hey, can you? It's like I thought everybody was guilty. Didn't you just say everybody was guilty? Aren't you gonna flip the switch? Yeah, exactly. It's like all of a sudden, people want justice when it's the shoes on this foot. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I always say that, and that's the key to talking to a jury, is to be able to make them understand that concept, okay? Because everybody hates defense attorneys, especially cops, until you need one. Until you need one. And all of a sudden, it's like, it's because my son's not guilty. He's innocent.
Yeah, it's his first time.
Yeah. Or even that far. It's his first time, he should get a chance. Well, you didn't want to give anybody else a chance. See what I'm saying? So it's the way that the system works, and but the more experience I would work against homicide detectives, viejos, trabajados, and those guys were cool as hell. I mean, they knew that it was a game. Basically, hey, you better take it easy on me. Understand? Yeah, right. I'm gonna set you on fire, and whatever. And then after we'd go have some drinks after a long, hard murder trial.
You owe me one from last time.
Yeah, we'd be having drinks, and it's like with the cops, like, yeah, we're all just doing a job.
Absolutely.
We're all just doing a job, and if we don't do our jobs, justice doesn't work. And we all love just American justice. So, I mean,
Right.
you know?
So you know what? When you're talking about the adversarial system of our judicial system, doesn't work if one is weak or one is the king. Mind you, I always use this example when I'm teaching. Rodney King. They had so much video, so much evidence, witnesses, the video. Just the video itself. They should have been convicted on the video itself. But if you saw the DA and their weak approach, either because he wasn't prepared, he wasn't comfortable litigating, whatever. I've always said that it was because of that, his lack of whatever training, professionalism, performance, whatever. With all that evidence against the cops, they got acquitted. And look what happened. Look at the riots he created. Look how many people died.
Right.
Look at the damage. Look at all that. Because of one man. If you really think about it, one man. So what you're saying, you're right. I had never looked at it that way. It just takes one little kink to screw everything up.
Yep.
And then I'm glad you said that, because when you said it, I'm thinking that's what that
And
happened.
then you have the total opposite. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah.
And that worked.
They never did.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was
Right?
brilliant, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
But
exactly
that
what
DA
you said.
did a horrible job too.
Yeah, they actually
Horrible.
said, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, those defense attorneys were very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the California system just didn't really help.
Well, that's a whole
Yeah.
It goes back to what you're saying. It needs to work, right? Everybody needs to do their part.
Everybody needs to do their part, and everybody needs
Absolutely.
to understand that it takes everybody to do the job, and you don't need to
absolutely.
hate them for doing their job. You know, the only time that I get pissed off with the cops is when they actually don't care about saying something that's not true
That's
or
not
not completely true,
So that does
just to
happen.
make sure. Oh, they do it all the time.
Wow.
They do it all the time, and the more educated the cop, the less likely it'll be. It's very weird. So I have Border Patrol agents always lying on the stand, and the judge will condone it up and down, day and night, all the time. The federal judges, they will condone a lying agent all the time.
Wow.
But FBI and DEA, that's been my experience. Those guys are professional, and you might ask them something that they know is going to kill their case, and they'll
They'll
nevertheless kill their
I
case.
agree.
They'll tell you the truth,
I
and
agree.
then
They'll
I
follow the
actually
source.
tell them like, hey, thank you very much for being honest.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Right. I
Because
totally
they will always try to color they'll shade their testimony just so that they don't lose their case, and that is wrong.
Yep.
That's
Either
injustice.
lose the case or look bad because they're too worried about their reputation. And you're right, it takes a big person to look. One time I tested when I was assigned to DA, I testified in federal court. I said that, I don't remember the time, that judge, he asked me about what time did the vehicle cross. And I'm like, 1:30 p.m. He goes, is that Central Time or Eastern Time? I'm like, Judge, I'm not sure. He goes, don't you think that's important for the case? I'm like, yes, sir. He goes, you know what, let's take a break. He put me on break, goes, come here. He goes, I'm not trying to fuck with you or embarrass you. You need to know that. It's Eastern Time according to Epic and all that. But here it was Central Time. So I'm like, and so let me tell you, ever since then, I make sure I understood.
You were the advocate of
Yeah.
time.
But he embarrassed me in court, but I learned, and I didn't take it personal. I mean, I wish he would have done it in public, but he had to. That's his job
Yep.
to make sure that we, as agents, understood what we needed to do. So yeah, it was a very humbling experience.
Yeah.
Judge Casey.
Oh,
that
oh
guy
my
was
God.
that guy was a brain. That guy.
He was so smart, but he never put up with bullshit.
No, he didn't.
Never.
He could smell bullshit. I would walk in, bullshit. Like, get out. That guy was, I mean, a lot of respect for him. A
Yeah,
lot of respect for him.
I'd go there argue, and he'd be like, where are you getting this? Like that. Where did you? Show me. I was like, holy, if you're not prepared.
I got my notes.
And the
Yeah.
notes are right under your sleeve.
If you're not prepared, you're gonna get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Lady Liberty with the scales already in the back. Like,
Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, I mean Judge Kazin was awesome. He taught me a big lesson that day. And never again was and I thought I was prepared. I mean, I was already nervous because, I was used to, testifying in the state court. But now you're in federal, it's a whole, and like you said, DEA, FBI, those guys and girls are not, their ethics are very high.
Yeah,
And have to
they
be.
understand that it's a case and that their integrity is more important than
Yes.
that case.
Yep.
And that's what they do. Is like, hey, if we lose, we lose. Next time we do better.
Now let me tell you.
But you're not gonna lose your integrity over that stupid
Let me
case.
tell you, the AUSAs don't think that way. The AUSAs will not take a case unless it's almost,
Oh yeah, gift wrapped.
yes, because why? Because they want to move up.
Yeah,
And they don't want any
they
losses.
don't want to lose.
So, you know how many times I went up to AUSAs like, I have this, nope.
Not
I'm
good
gonna go,
enough.
because I'm like, oh, what else do you want me to do? I mean, short of a confession,
Yeah.
where I'm going to have to waterboard somebody. I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, I heard you can't do it.
We can't waterboard
somebody.
No more waterboarding.
Yeah, no
You
waterboarding.
As public defense, as public.
Well, I mean, me as a civilian, I cannot violate anybody's rights, right? I get arrested, but not violate the rights. But as a cop,
They don't find out. then-
well, that's true. Why are you still here? That's what I
I was just about to ask.
Now you got the guy from Grupos, well, now you're gonna influence him.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So don't pay any attention to
It's gonna
the guy.
happen.
So,
Just
but,
ignore the elephant.
but anyway, so,
Election.
yeah, again, say that this is exactly what I wanted you to come out, because we want to show, not only showcase you, but also people, so people can see that there are a lot of smart people on the radio that know their shit, that you've been, like you said, you practice in, I mean, all over to New York. I mean, how many attorneys can say that? I mean, honestly, I mean, some can, some can't. You know, like I said, no, without calling anybody out, I know a lot of attorneys that, I mean, some people went to law school and they couldn't pass, they still cannot pass that bar. Years. So they have that little certificate of attendance, but that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, that's tough. You know, either because they're not good test takers, or they really didn't know the shit, whatever the reason. And it's very frustrating for the two that I know that couldn't and still can't pass the bar. I'm talking about they already gave up.
I'm never telling you anything again.
But my point is that it's not easy. What you're doing, like I said, when I realized, talking to you of this, whatever, what you're doing and when you're running, it's, I mean, my hat off to you, because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's just like, not anybody can be a cop, not anybody can be an attorney, and be their own business.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be an attorney all day, but, and then I know a lot of attorneys that pass the bar that are not practicing. They hide behind the excuse of, well, my family first, whatever. But I mean, if you had the drive and God gave you that push to go to law school, and then you come back and say, bullshit, something scared you, and you're hiding behind the family, you're hiding behind this. And it's a little harder for females, I get it, because, their instinct is to nurture and bring the home up. I understand that. But as a male, I mean, what's the excuse? If you have a good woman next to you and a good family, you're going to be fine. I mean, they got to support you for that. Yeah, you're not going to be home a lot. You're going to be late nights. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be busting your ass. You're going to be in a shitty mood because you're exhausted.
It's just some of us that like to argue.
Well,
Trying to make money off it.
and it's weird because, you're nothing like your sister. Your sister is, she's very quiet. She's very smart too. But you're more outgoing, which is good. That's what you have to be an attorney. You have to be out there.
Yeah, you have to. I would say, to be an attorney, you have to be tough, but you also have to have people skills.
Yes, exactly.
In order to bring in the clients.
Yes.
It's like you got to be smart, yeah, but you also have to have street smarts. There's people that graduate from Yale, like you said, Yale, Harvard. They come out and they can't make it in the real world because they're used to arguing. They're very intellectual, but going out to bars and picking up the clients,
Yes.
that's a whole other aspect of it that you don't think of.
So now you're talking about, so you are gifted with two, IQ and EQ, emotional intelligence. Now, you were born with it. Nobody taught you. You were born that way. A lot of people like these nerds. And the prime example I give is the Big Bang Theory. Sheldon Cooper.
Oh yeah.
Super smart guy, but can't read the room. Can't even understand his own emotions. I mean, so when you don't regulate, first of all, recognize and regulate, you cannot. If you cannot control yourself, you cannot control anybody else.
Right.
So again, you were born with that. I think most of us in the room, even that POS over there.
I'll take it as a compliment.
I think that
You
most of
should,
us.
bro. You should.
Don't take it the way I give it, bitch. That's a compliment. Okay. So, I mean, sir, because thank you, appreciate the sponsorship. Not everybody's born with it. You can train some people as they get older to be better, but some people never learn. And those are the people, look, domestic violence, street crimes, low socioeconomic levels, all that stuff. It's not so much of opportunity because you were not born rich. None of us.
None of us. None of us.
We were not born with a silver spoon in our mouth. None of us. Whatever you drive, whatever you wear, whatever we drive, it's us that have done it. And through the opportunity given from a higher power, right? Health,
Exactly.
all that stuff. But how do we get here? It's not so much, it's not by luck, it's because of our skills. Our skills to read people, to understand, to control our emotions, Right now, this guy and I are talking shit, but we're actually very good friends. It's set up to something bigger, right? A lot of people, and I was telling before we got here, my daughter, she's about to go for her doctorate in psychology. She's an LPC. She actually called me the first time he was here, and she's like, "Dad, is that a real beef?" I'm like, "No, beef now." So we were able to have her have a. She goes, because her question was, why didn't you run across the room and tear them apart the way you usually would? First of all, because I'm tired, my knees hurt. Second of all, he's faster than me. I'm not gonna chase him, And second of all, because it's a setup. So, but again, emotional intelligence, that's something that you were gifted with, and that's more than your brain. That has been your source of success. I guarantee you. Like you said, going into a bar and picking up a client, that's not. A Sheldon Cooper could never do that. They wouldn't even go to a bar.
Right.
They'd be at the comic store buying, the figurines like other people I know here.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing at all.
That's what I thought.
Nothing at all.
The nerd of the group.
Yeah, he is a nerd.
Yeah.
See that?
How long? I don't look like one.
If you ask him to walk right now like this and take a picture,
He'll do it.
You look like one of the Santa figurines.
no, the Sasquatch. Hello, come on guys, stay with me.
It's like this.
So, but anyway, so going back to Silvera, like I said, I really thank you for stopping by.
Yep.
I know it's past your bedtime because you gotta get up early. And actually, I called him late and he's still working. I mean, this guy is.
Sometimes,
Yeah. So, but again, just don't forget that you gotta take care of yourself, because if you go down, like if you go down, a lot of people are dependent, just like us. We go down and people depend on us, and we gotta keep ourselves safe and healthy. Anything else you want to say before we leave?
Yeah, what's up with the money packs?
You want to tell them?
There you go. There we go.
I'm glad you asked. Another new sponsor.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna be starting up a wrestling academy. So it's my way of setting up the whole me sponsoring them, so that they'll sponsor me whenever we start that up. So it's in tandem.
Mr. Big Spender over here.
Of course, but it's like I said, I don't use my money for everything. I get investors.
Say it again, TJ. Let her hear it.
He is full of shit.
Investors.
Still don't know why he's
Like I
doing
said,
it.
look, if I open this, and it's nothing but
I'm not giving away the real
it
money because I didn't declare it. Put it there. Don't worry about it.
hasn't been declared.
It hasn't been declared, and I don't think I will.
It smells like Tide.
All this laundered money. It's very clean. Very clean.
Yeah,
It's very clean, yeah, absolutely.
It smells like Downy and Snuggle.
Like down
I think
here.
this one's even starched.
So you might want to get his number just in
No,
case.
it's a-
You might need
What was it that phrase in the Godfather Consigliere?
Uh-huh.
That-
Yep.
that-
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know about The Godfather?
Oh,
It's like
You
only the
weren't
greatest
even
movie of all
born when
time.
that movie came out.
I was born when the movie came
Full of
out.
shit. He doesn't even have TV. What are you talking about?
No, hey, it's not my fault that the TV didn't get invented until you were 10 years old.
Wow.
oh,
Anyway.
You were born in the 70s?
Born 80s.
I didn't think the 70s.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because Godfather came out in what, 74?
something like that.
Yeah.
Then was The Godfather 3 that came out until the 90s.
Yeah.
So I know The
Right,
Godfather.
Godfather 3.
Plus, I grew up right watching all those movies. Goodfellas,
Yeah,
Godfather.
yeah, I'll give you that.
Tu Wong Fu.
That one too. I'll be honest. It's a funny movie.
Actually, it's a good movie. It's a very good movie. So again, Tivera, thank you for stopping by.
Where can we find it?
We're
Pleasure,
gonna,
pleasure.
yeah. What we'll do is we'll put your contact information on the podcast.
Yeah. Do you have,
Uh,
I can leave a card.
Okay, please. That way we can make sure that people know how to find you, and if they have a question, if anybody has a question and needs legal advice, give us a call. And we're glad to pass on the information for Silverio.
And if you need legal advice, you have Mr. Lucio Santana.
No, you can go to him.
Yeah.
If you don't want mine, you go to advice.
I said illegal.
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 I'm sorry.
Short and deaf.
Wow.
Then yes.
Short and deaf.
Oh, but anytime, I know I'm a lawyer, but that's not all I live. I like politics. I like local current events, whatever you all talk about. I'd be happy
That's about the
to.
bonds.
I was about to say.
You know what? If you don't mind, so we were talking about the bond. We didn't talk about our opinion in any way.
Now or maybe
Just
you have the time to do it.
I think you got time around a little bit.
Yeah.
So just to your take on it, we don't really care to know which way you're gonna go. Just what are you understanding? Why do some people hate it and why do some people love it? What's the two
Well-
sides? Your assessment.
First of all, there was an article in the paper with where my councilman King came out talking about why we have this going on. He actually wanted to bring it in to sort of appease his constituents, which is my District 6. They've been wanting a rec center for years, and he promised it. And so he was thinking, how are we gonna fund that? And he started looking out of the cities, and so he got the idea that maybe we should do it this way, by a bond election. But it turns out, he says that they agreed to do it, but then the project that he wanted to bring it for. It's not even on the agenda. It's not on the agenda of spending the money.
Wow.
But I've been trying to talk to different people, especially council people or ex-council members that know more about how that funding works. And like I said, and like he said, we don't ordinarily get elections for money, but they're starting to want to do that. So when I looked at it, what it's really going to do is raise, here's the bottom line. It's going to raise our taxes incredibly. You're talking about in 8 years, something like $140,000 extra that I would pay on my property. Okay.
Wow.
Of course, there's different levels, but for me, it would be like $14,000 extra per year.
Wow.
Per year. As it is, they knock up our prices or our appraisal every year ridiculously. We have to constantly be fighting it. If not, you're going to be overpriced.
Yeah.
Which if you're going to sell the house, is great. If you're not, you're just paying more taxes. So that's in and of itself not good. The amount of money that is going to be that you're going to get in tax hikes. But the more important thing is that the stuff they're getting for it. I mean, they're not even really telling us what they're spending it on. And the stuff they're spending it on is stuff that is like cars. Like, you're going to depreciate a car over 30 years? It should be depreciated over 7 years.
Yep.
And you're asking for us to finance a car for 30 years? You know what I'm saying? Cars. That's one of the things that they want to get for police or whatever. All that stuff is great. Sounds really good, at first blush, but in reality, when you really think of it, it's spending money a lo tonto, you know, a lo tonto. And it's like, when it's coming and when it's hitting us that hard in the pocket, it's absolutely no way, not like that, not for that. I don't think we should vote for it. I voted against it. I think it's irresponsible spending and irresponsible financing, and it's gonna hit us. It's on our back,
Right.
on the voters' back.
Do you know anything about, has it on the agenda, anything in it, allocation towards infrastructure, water lines, roads, whatever? I'm not familiar. Honestly, I'm not too familiar with it.
And I'm not too familiar with everything that they're wanting to fund. I've been looking at, some of those watchdog groups that are putting stuff out, and that's some of the things that I hear is they're not even talking about stuff that we really need, like an alternative water supply, stuff that we really need. Maybe they were talking about paving 13 more streets that we really need paved. It's like I think we have like most of the streets are paved. They probably do need some more, but it's just it doesn't make any sense. $2.4 billion, something like that. It's ridiculous. And it's just way too much money that we're gonna have to bear the brunt for. Yeah.
And I think that's what's making people very nervous. That first of all, there does not seem to be transparency in this. There seems to be a lot of people speaking from one side of the mouth and then to the other. And a lot of unknowns and people. And when you're looking at that much money that you're gonna have to give up, it's not equitable to the risk. Is not equitable to the to the benefit in this case. I think.
I think so too. And I don't tend to be conservative, but this is like obviously.
It's about what makes sense.
Yeah, this is obviously.
Just common sense.
It's just common sense, exactly. I have no problem with progress and wanting to be progressive with our we don't want to be Corpus Christi either, where we get stagnant and don't progress for years. We want to progress, but this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem like we're going to progress much, and we're just going to hit ourselves with a lot more taxes. It doesn't make sense. So
I'm hoping that the generation now, ours and above, that we have access to information, that they pay attention. Like you said, listen to the watch groups, read behind the lines, in between the lines of these leaders.
you have to do your own research because
Yes,
if you, like they say, if you watch the news,
No, forget it.
if you watch the news, you're
Misinformed.
ill-informed,
Yeah.
misinformed.
Yeah.
If you don't watch the news, you're uninformed.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else it
And
says.
stop listening to Tia Tencha, and Tio Jose that tells you to do one way or another, because a lot of times we tend to vote with our emotions, going back to emotional intelligence, instead of with research.
What's on the table?
Because right now I can say I'm going to vote against it, but if I read and actually see that money's going to go
You're gonna
somewhere,
give money to podcasts? Like,
I'll become a podcast.
Exactly.
Then,
For funding.
Yeah. And maybe we will vote for it, right?
Yeah.
And of course, everybody votes what's in favor for them. We all have our agendas. But in this case, you need to detach yourself from that, because the only agenda that matters here is Laredo, Texas. What's the best thing for the city?
Exactly.
And it is not it right now. Now, you know what? Leadership, go back to the drawing board and we will pay for that 2 point whatever it is, but let's change the agenda. Prove to us it's gonna go where it needs to go, not like you said, cars and other stuff. That's important, but there's other ways to do that. And
There's
everybody
better
remembers,
ways to
There's
do
better
that.
ways to do that. There's something called grants. There's something called seizures. There's a lot of ways to generate money if you go out there and get it. But this is an easy way to get that easy money. And like you said, Dr. King, who's a fellow veteran of ours, even his own purpose wasn't his own reason for pushing it wasn't there. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
So.
He seems like a smart guy.
He is.
I like him.
He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy. I've got a chance to meet him.
Talking about seizures, y'all should put that money away.
Don't do it.
And open it.
Stop spending it. You don't know where it's been and what they've done.
I don't know where you've been, and you're still here.
I know
Why are
where
you
that
here?
money's been and what they've done with it. and the uses of it.
Yeah, that and that hat will get you a cup of coffee somewhere. But
All right, guys.
Silvia, thank you so much again.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. We always mention you, because of your sponsorship. So every week we're throwing your name out there. Hopefully,
I
somebody out
appreciate
there will hear it and we'll make a call when they really need some advice.
Definitely, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'll be happy to come back anytime.
Do me a favor, make sure you sign where it says number 7 on the bottom. We're having all the guests sign there.
The wall of
Yeah,
fame.
right there. The logo.
Okay.
Yeah, please before you take off. All right, guys. So
I'll leave my card right there.
we're gonna move on. Again, that was an awesome, probably one of the most interesting conversations we've had.
Just what I asked for, right?
Yeah.
I wanted someone to enlighten us a little bit more on that issue, and
So-
here it is.
Yeah, that was perfect. Because again, guys, we have to, our responsibility as having the privilege to vote, because it is a privilege, is to be well informed and to make a decision based on what's best for the country, the state, and Laredo. What's best for us. Take care. Thank you. So that's how we gotta make those vote our conscience. Vote our conscience, educated conscience. Alrighty, so we're gonna move on to our next guest. Like I said, Ms. Fuentes couldn't be here. She's a local boxer. She'll try to be here next week. She wasn't feeling too good, but we are very lucky and we're glad to welcome. What was your name, sir?
Juan Bautista, brother.
Juan Bautista. He is a member of Grupo Séptimo Contacto out of Laredo. Again, guys, these are the guys that are keeping Tejano and such type of music alive in Laredo. In fact, we'll let Southman play a little bit so y'all can hear a little bit of the music. Who's that singing?
That's me, brother.
That's you?
Yeah, that's a good
I like the sound, man. I like the sound.
Good news, good news.
I like the sound. There you go. All right, so Mr. Bautista, tell me about the group. Who started it? How long have you been together? That kind of stuff.
Alrighty. Pues we're local from Laredo. It's the project. I believe I got a notification this morning. It's around 7 years. 7 years with the project. I've been a musician my whole life, but with the Tejano music, it's around 7 years, 8 years maybe. We recently recorded. What you heard right there, it was recorded 3 years ago, and we released that music, and here we are. We're trying to push our music forward, and hopefully we could reach the whole Laredo.
Good. So, how many members in the group?
We're five.
Five. And what are the basic instruments, or what do y'all play?
It's a bajo quinto and accordion music. We got a bass player, bajo quinto player, bateria, congas.
Okay.
But the team is composed of five.
Five.
Yeah.
Well, what do you play?
I play the bajo quinto and the lead vocal.
So let me ask you this: for people that know, what's the difference between a sexto and a quinto?
It's the strings.
Just the string.
One string.
Yeah.
But it's still this is different.
The bajo quinto has 10 strings,
Yeah.
and the bajo sexto has 12.
12.
Again, because I mean, a lot of people hear it, and if you're not in music, you might as well speak, Japanese too.
Yeah.
If people don't get it. Southman, I know you have a bunch of questions.
Oh man, well, first of all, thank you for coming. Thank you. We finally got to meet. I mean, I first met Séptimo Contacto in the Calaveras Festival. Nothing to be under my jurisdiction, but I took the advantage and took the liberty of handing them over.
That's when you got arrested, right?
And almost. They were playing there, and I said, give them a call, let's talk, because I already had this in mind about having an interview with them. And definitely, I don't know how y'all handle the cold weather, but I didn't last long.
Yeah.
Bro, no me quedé.
Little additives.
Yeah, so what I heard at that time, that snippet, a couple of songs that y'all played there, I was impressed, very impressed, and that's why I said, who are these guys? I thought you were from San Antonio or from the Valley or somewhere, but hold and behold, from here, homegirl.
Yeah,
So,
we're home from Laredo, Texas.
congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Of
Thank you,
course,
Mr.
we do play, we rotate your music every day. there at the station, and I am very proud to say that we have another great group from Laredo, Texas.
Thank you.
Including everybody else that we had here, with great talent, like this guy here and the guy over there. So,
Yeah, he's still here.
Muchas gracias.
Still here.
I just want to say thank you for the invitation, guys. Muchas gracias, Mr. Medina, por tomarse el tiempo de contactarme. And the invitation is just awesome to be here, sharing our music with you guys. ¿Con quién tengo el gusto? Sé que TJ, ¿quién es TJ?
I'm TJ.
Compadre TJ, ¿cómo se llama usted, buddy?
Bojo.
Para servirte, Bojo, TJ.
Gracias.
Gracias por la invitación, compadre.
Of
Saludos.
course, of course.
It's a pleasure being here, guys.
So what we want to do is showcase, like, your music is very clear, very crisp, which is the way it's supposed to be. Because there's some groups out there that kind of, either recording studio wasn't the best, or just they're sloppy in their techniques, whatever. But when you have clear music, it even people that are not fans become fans. Because they can understand it.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear muffled sounds. You want to understand, like, without even knowing, listening how many instruments are in the group. That's how clear it should be.
Yes.
Of course, you may not know who's singing unless you see a video,
Right.
but at least you hear what's the different instruments that are in there. So that's not easy to do, especially in a recording.
I want to we recorded here locally. Se llama Padilla Studios. Le doy un shout out a mi compadre Abel. He did the magic, which is recorded. Él se encargó de todo el estudio. El estudio es de Kilo Calvert, Padilla Studios.
Wow.
He's a very talented man. Mi compadre Abel.
You
Saludos.
know what? Let's see if we can invite him.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah, for sure. I got the contact.
Yeah, let's do that, because again, our whole goal is to showcase what Laredo has, and hopefully, these type of events for you will get you for other people to see, and know that you exist, and you're out there, doing it, because it's not if everybody could do it, everybody will be playing, and we do have a lot of American Idol stars out there. Everybody thinks they can play and sing. Everybody's a karaoke singer, but to be able to come together, find the right people, because I have my own band and we're playing different type of music, but if the people are not all in the right frame of mind, working as a team, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You can be damn good, but it won't work.
Yeah.
Look at the history behind some of the rock bands. I can't think of the name. Not Cinderella. Anyway, if you go back to behind the scenes, remember all those videos?
Yeah.
Why they broke up? Why they broke up? Why they didn't last? Because they had issues. They were always fighting. The lead singer thought he was better than everybody, so screw the band. Cancel the gig, cancel concerts. And that's why they broke up. And then you have the tragedy of what happened to Selena. She got killed, and that was talk about a showstopper right there. So, but anyway, so 7 years, that's pretty good.
Yeah, around 7 years. No le cuento muy bien, pero it's around 7 years. I just know that because I got the notification from Facebook. We're just ready to start playing in private gigs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so the $1 million question, why
Yes, sir.
Septimo Contacto?
It's a good question, actually. And I'm going to say the complete story. I was actually praying for a name for the band. Antes se llamaba Sexto. And my accordion player, Mr. Pirrin, he kept insisting, compadre, no le gustaba Sexto. And he kept saying Séptimo. But to me, it didn't really sound good. Like, chinga, como que Séptimo le faltaba algo. Entonces, it came the time that we recorded, the music was ready, and I didn't have a name. So I was praying and praying and praying. Entonces, mi compadre Chuy me dijo, compadre, ¿por qué no pones Contacto? Entonces, yo tenía otros names ya. I had other names in mind. Como tenía Séptimo Radar, that was one. And this other guy, Chuy, me dice Contacto. So I just put them together, como Séptimo Contacto. And then, it didn't ring the bell in the moment that I said Séptimo Contacto. It sounded cool. But I like it because it's something like como el contacto con Dios, Séptimo Contacto. Es como el contacto con el mero. Y fíjate, I just thank God because I seen His hand in all these projects.
Amen.
There's people helping us from everywhere, and I just want to give the glory to Him. He's been on my side, and there's the name came from there.
Awesome.
Contacto.
Nice. Ahí un corito ahí que le agreguen al CD o algo.
Sí, cómo no.
Eso.
This is my main, or well, including myself. I'm gonna include my two few friends. Me, Etapa, my goal is to welcome the new talent, new music. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. I'm not competing with other radio stations. I'm not doing anything for the fame or fortune. Aquí estoy para servirles a la nueva gente, a la nueva agrupación, el nuevo talento. Hay mucho talento. No es que, como sabes tú y otras partes, no sé si les ha pasado que en veces te cierran las puertas.
A veces sucede.
¿Me entiendes? Y sí sucede. Ya ha visto mucho de eso, lo que está pasando. Pero yo no. Sea donde sea. Yo he tenido gente que desde California me ha mandado música. He tenido gente de Nuevo México que me ha mandado música. Arizona. Yo no cierro las puertas. Les doy la oportunidad y la lanzo. Y ojalá que todo el mundo lo escuche. Y deja tú, no la quito. La sigo tocando, aunque sean 2, 3, 4, 5 años. Ese es lo que yo quiero ser para todos. Y sinceramente, me alegro, me da mucho orgullo con ustedes.
Gracias. Gracias de parte de todos los músicos. Me hace que estamos agradecidos, brother, porque pues, es el apoyo que necesitamos. Somos pues, todos los que vamos comenzando, sabemos que es difícil y apoyo como este pues llega de perlas, compadre. Muchas gracias por el apoyo
Seguro que
a los compañeros músicos.
Ahí me los avisan, por favor. Que me deben una cerveza, no sé.
Yo estaba esperando un seco, compadre.
No.
Es broma.
So I noticed you brought a guitar, Bautista, so.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, it's right there. You want me to bring it?
Yeah. Because after you, we're gonna have Elvis sing a song for you people. So,
What do you mean he doesn't know how to play the guitar?
so this is gonna be, today is gonna be the first time that
That's right.
we're gonna have live music finally.
That's right.
Is that mic gonna pick up?
First desk call.
Yeah.
Te llore.
¿Cuál tienes? ¿El quinto o el
Saca el
sexto?
pauquito.
Y que vaya jalando. Y que sepa tocar.
Tengo que le hace falta una cuerda. Para que la toque.
A él o a la guitarra.
No influence, pero Valentín de la Sierra. No.
Whatever you want, just a little piece of what you got, baby.
Ok, yo sé que no se ve muy bien, ¿verdad? Ahí en las redes, pero
No, sí, se va.
Let's pick it up.
como quiera vamos a promover un poquito. Este es uno de nuestros segundos sencillos originales. Se llama Pensaste que no llegaría, de sus amigos Séptimo Contacto.
Where was that video done?
We did it here in La Azteca.
In La
We did it in La
Azteca.
Azteca.
Nice.
Yeah, we had, if you see the video, it was kind of tough, but we got it. We got it. You check the video out.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of work. So, dice más o menos así. Cuando andaba perdido en el camino, allá donde el viento me llevó, enamorada tú de mí te encontrabas, pero todo con el tiempo se te olvidó, y que el amor no es cuestión de dinero, y mi bolsillo de mí te alejó. Bueno, de menos yo necesitara que me arrancaran el corazón, y pensaste que no llegaría ni a nada, chiquita mi vida. Me dejaste solito, muy solo, me arrancaste completamente la vida, mi vida.
Nice.
Gracias por los aplausos, compadre.
Gracias.
No aplaudan. Tienen dinero, aunque sea falta.
Aquí tengo el botecito.
Para el crimen.
De hecho, es primero de renta porque.
Pasa la cachuchita. Sí,
No, that sounded. You know what? Again, guys, look. I always say we have a lot of talent in Laredo, we just don't expose it. And if people don't see you, I mean, you're wasting your. I mean, people live and die, and nobody ever gave them a chance. You know, how many of our grandfathers, fathers, you know, they try to make it, but they don't have the opportunity. It's all about being at the right place at the right time.
It's correct.
And like you said, if you have a higher power guiding you,
I'll say that's the main thing, brother. Cosas grandes, pues no se pueden hacer solo, ¿verdad? Necesitas un buen equipo y la mano de Dios para echarle para adelante. En lo que sea, brother. Yo siempre digo, it don't matter. It can be music, even just in any business. You need a high power and the will to do it.
No, you're right. A lot of people are forgetting that you know, to look. It's like I tell people, look, when you're confused and you don't know which way to go, which road to take, look up. Just look up.
That's correct.
He'll tell you. It takes
That's correct.
And pay attention.
I wish tu cordonista would have been here.
Oh, Mr. Pirrin. Yeah, I told him, hombre, le dije, pero pues cosas de trabajo, compadre, se entiende. And I told him, maybe you can come, bro, todavía con ganas, pero como usted guste. Pero sí, ya salga tarde, mi compadre. Sí.
I don't know, this is not going to be an invitation. Anytime you have a big event for your group or another release or whatever, let us know.
Oh, it's good to mention, tomorrow we're going to be live at Club Lobos.
Oh, really?
I think it's 1019 Iturbide.
Yeah, downtown.
Okay. We start at 10 p.m. We're going to play from 10 p.m. to 12 straight. So everybody's invited from Laredo. Do go check us out. Do go check us out at Lobos, Club Lobos. We're going to be there tomorrow live playing our original music and a bunch of cumbias. So I can dance. Mi compadre Israel, correcto.
We work together a little bit in some other projects. So.
A ver si me agarro para irme lanzo y les hago un live podcast.
That would be bad, brother. You're doing, Mr. Medina.
Yeah, that's another thing we want to do, man, and not of course for you, but for other people. Get out there and go live, you know, to do a follow-up of what you're inviting the people. Para que miren que you're there, for real, and you're actually performing and stuff.
And we'll come back and do the recap here afterwards.
Whenever you guys invite me, I'll be here, brother. We're here to push this project forward.
¿Y si quiere traer otra la banda?
Aquí tengo todos los instrumentos para allá.
That's my drum set. I don't know how to play.
It's a nice song.
Es para colgar las toallas.
Está como los treadmills. You know, if you see a treadmill, you have a treadmill in the Mexican house, what is it for? Para colgar las toallas. And, you know, it's not to work out. What's that? But it's got white people. Just run every day, sir. Just run every day. Mexicanos no. Screw that. Un tamalito primero. So again, thank you not only for coming over, but for performing. Like I said, that was the first time that we've been wanting people to do it. We had Mr. Joe Ojeda here a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it was an awesome conversation talking about his time with Selena and all that stuff. And we asked him next time to bring his little keyboard.
Started getting a little wild. I had to settle him down there. He was talking about the bad boys. I was like, whoa. Yeah, the Roxy. And whoa.
Yeah, he gave us some good stories. And again, I mean,
episode 1.
So we're gonna bring him back. We're probably gonna again ask you later on to maybe if somebody can join you.
Sí, claro que sí.
Just to do a quick sample, but especially with the new stuff that you guys. Yeah. I'm sure you guys are already working on stuff.
Y hablando de eso, ¿qué nuevos proyectos tienen?
Nuevo proyecto, ahorita, no me gusta compartir tanto, ¿verdad? Me gusta hacer las cosas primero, pero sí vienen cosas nuevas, Mr. Medina. Ahí vienen, lo que sí puedo decir es que es un en vivo. Lo que sí estamos tratando de trabajar en un en vivo con mis compañeros y espérenlo pronto. Va a ser un en vivo.
Y hablando de eso, ¿todos son de aquí de Laredo?
Gracias a Dios, sí.
Todos
somos de aquí. Tengo la fortuna de que todos somos de aquí y nos juntamos a ensayar cada semana ahí echándole.
¿Es familiar en el grupo?
No, todos son compañeros.
Qué bueno.
De hecho, mi compadre Pirrin, con él he tocado desde chicos. Estábamos en un grupo que se llamaba Pacto, back in 2007, Grupo Pacto. Wow. He used to be an accordion player and I used to play the bass on that band.
Oh, wow.
And it happened that pasaron los años y fue el primero que le hablé para que grabara el acordeón.
Qué bueno.
And actually, it happened like this, guys. I remember I called Pirrin y le hablé, brother, ¿cómo ves si me ayudas para grabar la música? Me dijo, sí, compadre. Y lo invité a la agrupación. Le dije, ¿y quieres ser parte? Y me dice, no, compadre, yo ya no. Ya, o sea, como que no, ya no quería tocar, pero sí me quería ir a grabar. Pues fuimos a grabar y igual le gustó la música y se animó. y no perdí la oportunidad de preguntarle otra vez. Y cuando me acuerdo acabamos de grabar y ya estábamos afuera, y le dije, ¿cómo ve, compadre? ¿Me ayuda? ¿Le quiere entrar? Y nomás me dijo mi compadre, pues vamos a darle. Ni sí ni no, me dijo, vamos a darle. Y hasta la fecha pues sigue con nosotros. La verdad bien bendecido con mi compadre que es parte de la agrupación, porque pues es un gran elemento, pues, el acordeón viene siendo como el lead guitars, ¿verdad? El acordeón es el mero y vamos a decir así, es uno de los más chichones de allá afuera.
Yeah, definitely. ¿Cómo? Do you know Pirin's real name?
El pidió también.
El Pido, okay.
El Pido también.
I'm glad you know it because I was gonna bring a point. In our culture, we like to call people by their nicknames. You know, lo conoce toda su vida que el Pirrín y luego se muere. Oye, ¿quién se murió? ¿El Pirrín? ¿Y cómo se llama? Pues no sé, el Pirrín. Right? So what happens is that we lose identity. So I'm glad that you know him. That means that you really know him.
Yeah.
Porque a la pinta puesto, everybody calls him Pirrín, but they don't know his name.
Mm-hmm.
So when you read it on the obituary, you don't even know it was him. You know, and so that guy never really exists.
Because it's also a picture like from 20 years ago.
Well, that's true.
They put it in your picture.
Yeah. And it's been made over through Facebook with the real filters.
At least it is for me, man.
But anyway, again, man, thank you so much, man. It was awesome. I know you're a little shy. Yeah, right. I got this. Which good. That means that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're comfortable.
Yeah.
A mí no creas, ando nervioso, pero I changed the word to being excited. I just changed it on my mind. Que me lo avento, I'm excited. Ojalá.
Qué bueno, no, qué bueno, y como le digo, cualquier cosa que necesiten, a mí, we're not done yet, nomás, cualquier cosa que necesiten, las puertas están abiertas aquí, en la estación, conmigo, ya saben, lo que se nos ofrezca, quieren promover algo, aquí estoy,
Muchas gracias,
aquí estamos, para ayudarles, apoyarlos y todo eso, y a mí, me sorprendo que, no me sorprendo, me quedé bien a mirar lo que hiciste, de lo poco tiempo que cuando te mandé el póster, puse el foto de la agrupación y ahí pues hiciste You Did Your Little Thing. No, hombre, qué padre.
Sí.
Entonces, qué bueno.
Le voy a decir, Mr. Medina, es un borlote hacer esos videos, brother. It takes hours, es nomás 30 seconds, pero ahí estás haciendo y
A mi
editando.
compañero.
Sí.
Ya lo quiero ahorita ya.
Es una friega. So, igual, I appreciate everybody out there, like, you know, our content, because it does take time, guys. It does take time. Every little single video, ahí estoy 2 horas, 1 hora picándole a la computadora. Pero pues se hace todo con amor, ¿verdad? Para seguir promoviendo este proyecto. Me encanta, te la pasas bien padre, pero sí es time consuming. Eso sí es.
No, qué bueno.
Igual, de igual manera me pongo a la orden. Si acaso ocupan servicios de promoción así con sus proyectos, yo puedo hacer algo, los mismos trabajos que ven ahí.
No, pues ya te voy a pedir algo más al ratito, pero ahí después hablamos. Estamos hablando. ¿Any more questions?
No, I'm good. I just, like I said, thank you for your time, and it was.
Que cante un corito.
Ándale. ¿Tienes otra selección?
Sí,
A ver, aviéntate otra selección para toda la gente bonita que nos están viendo de Facebook, de YouTube Live y después Facebook Live también. Todos tus admiradores ahí.
Ok, les vamos a entonar esta canción que es de nuestra primera producción. La que ya vimos ahí, pero vamos a tocar en vivo. Esta es la primera producción que sacamos que se llama ¿Por qué te vas? ¿Y por qué te vas? ¿Y a dónde vas? Explícamelo y aclárenme de nuestro amor, que acaso ya lo olvidó. En pocas y maletas pero en corazón, llévame a mí. Por si mañana se pone a pensar y de su recuerdo no me pueda borrar. Amor, toca tu corazón y recuerda que ya estoy hoy a tu lado, por siempre en tu corazón. ya la pueden escuchar. Las rolas están en Spotify, iTunes, en all digital platforms. Los videos musicales hechos por Interline Films están en YouTube. Ahí tenemos 3 videos musicales originales que pueden disfrutar.
Muchas gracias.
Awesome. Thank you again for stopping by. That was really fun. Yeah. Contact information.
Contact information?
Yeah, we got it.
See?
Do we have it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
We got it. So
Yeah, we'll be able to put it. Yeah, we'll be able to, again, guys, if anybody's interested and needs a group for a special event or anything like that,
We're available.
the guys are available. I mean, especially, like I said, people keeping alive,
Yeah.
the different genres of our culture. I mean, whatever it is, we are always trying to promote and make sure that people know that, yeah, Jay Perez and all this is nice to have and great, but we have our own talent here too. I mean, we're our own sound, our own flair to it. So
That's correct.
we really appreciate it. Anything else you want to say?
We do offer también Fara services. It's more than an acoustic set.
Yeah.
So it's a lot affordable, so we're also available. Fara and complete bands.
Okay.
All right.
That's good to know. Not everybody is doing that. So.
Yeah.
Sí, para servirles. Y una vez más acabamos de soltar nuestro tercer sencillo musical que se llama Intento. Es igual de Séptimo Contacto, pero para que lo vayan a checar ahí los que nos estén viendo.
All right.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. You know what? We got Elvis in the house. We're gonna let him come up a little bit.
Yeah.
But before, so this piece of shit can get out of here. I want Lucio to say a couple of more things, but for the transition, get the camera on YouTube.
Oh, ya no lo pienso ahí.
So we can transition. Okay, guys. So, guys, this is issue number 7. We're going on 2 weeks of these podcasts. And again, guys, I want to thank you for chiming in, for allowing us to come to wherever you are, whether in your car, your house, a house you're not supposed to be at, in church, hiding behind the pew, wherever. Lucio, let's get you to sit down, and we want to make sure we get you the fuck out of here.
I'm not going anywhere. Why do you want to get rid of me? It's such a joy to be here.
It's such a joy, yeah. You're like a case of herpes. That's how much joy you are. Yeah. Juanito, don't leave me without signing the.
No te vayas. Okay.
And then when if you have a picture, bring it over, man. So we can put it on the wall of shame. That's what we call it, the wall of shame. All right. So again, Lucio, before you leave, finally, let's talk a little bit about. You were talking about the academy, right? And
Yes.
how we want to bring and offer Laredo something different. I think that you're talking about training people how to wrestle.
Yes.
Right? Training people how to character act,
Yes.
such as what we've been doing, and then get into Greco wrestling, right? Because Laredo doesn't have Greco wrestling in the schools,
Nope.
and nothing. Spinning Chris was a member of the forum. He grew up doing Greco wrestling, and he swears by the benefits of it, the discipline, maintaining your weight. Because if you go up or too low, you have to be in a certain weight class. Again, the discipline of training early and staying late, all that stuff that forms you as a person. So it's not just performing, and even the wrestling gigs. If anybody could do it, we would all be doing it. It's like our next guest, when he honors Elvis. If all of us could do it, we'd all be doing it. He'd just be another number. But no, not everybody can do it. It's just like the same thing that our music artists just did. If everybody could do that, everybody would do it. In your case, any dumb shit can do it. But other than that,
I'd like to see you try.
all I gotta do is get a stupid ass act. And so
Word, and I actually want to see you do it.
That's a size for a
The
kid.
little boy shirt.
I have to.
Can I get like a little
A
little shirt from Sears?
For my kid.
from Sears?
Hey, Teach, why don't you tell the old guy next to you, the hippie, to get a cap, to update his cap to the Houston Texans and not the Houston Oilers?
No. But tell him why you're wearing it.
Because they're coming back.
Because he's going bald?
Because they're coming
He's
back.
balding in the bottom?
Man, there's just not enough money
I think
coming
that's
back,
what it
bro.
is. He's going
There's just
bald.
not enough money coming back.
I know. Then you
Yeah,
slap him.
I bet there's not. You know what? I'm not taking my money. As soon as I leave from here, I'm
No
gonna take
bullshit,
my money.
he's
No,
gonna stay
no,
here.
no. 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 You guys weren't nice enough for me to
It's not
say.
staying here. It's done. It's done. But no, actually, they were talking about the Houston Oilers coming back. San Antonio, I think, was looking at them.
Tennessee Titans and the Texans are staying, but I think Houston's coming back.
Well,
So
It's one of the best
Should we go with the
teams.
glasses?
there you go. I want to see. Oh no, you can't.
And all I gotta do is paint my beard like you, so I can look younger.
Maybe I don't have to do that because I'm not 100 years old. Though.
I'm sure you do. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm not. No.
I know
I'm
you're
not
not
100 years old.
First of all, it's not a real beard. 'cause
Okay,
you haven't
I'm
even
sorry.
puberty, so you
I'm
have
not
to-
80 because the guy next to you is the one that's 100. but-
Wow.
and then the hippie 70 next to you.
Wow.
This guy, man.
I know.
He's in a death wish, bro.
He is.
You don't know what daddy.
Why don't you like your life? I
Deja
don't
que no lo miren,
understand.
deja que no lo miren en la
I
calle,
love
chico.
my life.
Yeah, and then they say, why do we find him at the bottom of the river with concrete shoes?
The river's not deep enough, first of all.
So again, hopefully you'll come back with news that you were able to start that academy. Do you have interest already in it? Do you have people that are
Yeah, somebody coming up to you about it? Or?
Yeah, I have a couple of guys that are they're ready. They just told me, hey, as soon as you're up and ready, let me know. We'll start up. I already told them that I'm gonna be charging them upwards of like $300-400 per person, and they said they were willing to. but-
What are you missing? Like, what are unique you want to put out that you want to maybe attract or bring to complete what you need for the academy?
Okay,
To get you
so
started.
we have the venue already, but not until we actually have the ring in
Right,
and as soon as we have the ring, then I'll go ahead and I'll throw out
If
the
anybody wants to
location
join
and
your
all that.
ring,
A wrestling ring.
A
wrestling
Yeah, I got a
ring.
ring already.
Yeah.
But no, as soon as we have the wrestling ring, then yeah, we'll be ready. And one of my projects down the line, it would be awesome to where we have the wrestling, but we do have like a live band playing at least during the during.
What do you think you're
in
actually
between
a
matches.
cult of personality or what?
No. But in between the matches, you got the crowd going and everything, and
so
it just
provide
gives
everything,
exposure.
right? The wrestling, the music,
Yes.
food, a good environment for the family.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I like that.
Have Van
We'll have Elvis perform.
Yes,
And
we
maybe
have
get beat
vendors.
up by a wrestler.
Oh no! Trust me, I'm gonna go look for a fake guitar, and I'm gonna have
Yeah,
him
break
go
it
full
off.
honky
He's a
tonk
big
man on me
Yeah,
and just
Jared,
break that
honky-tonk
guitar
man.
on me.
Like I said, when he stands up, you're gonna be like right in his crotch area. So
It's not gonna take that much
Yeah,
force.
it's just a-
You'll be able to hit his knees real easy.
Pretty much. El chipote chillón.
And I'm sorry, I'll tell about that.
Yes.
All right. So again, thank you for stopping by, man. So
Appreciate
Really
it.
appreciate it, man.
you have something?
No, just the viewers, thank you so much. And of course, don't forget, send in your questions, concerns, comments, whatever it is. Text us at 956-813-7737. And of course, we'll be more than happy, the guests will be more than happy to answer, reply, or give you some kind of answer.
I brought these for you, man. I'm gonna put these on just for you.
So eventually, we got our next guest coming up, of course. And
That's
I have to. Elvis is in the building.
That's Bigfoot Elvis.
It's Elvis.
Elvis. Thank you.
thank you, Papa.
Okay, you want to get up there? So Luis Elvis Salazar is here today because we're gonna promote something different that's never been done in Laredo. So as you all may know or don't know, I'm a member of Mariachi Mezcal de Texas. I gotta say it the right way, Texas. And this year we're gonna offer, of course, like every year, serenatas for the mom for Mother's Day coming up in a week and a half.
Yeah.
So part of the project's gonna be the music's all gonna be mariachi, but the last song is gonna be sung by Elvis himself. So again, he's gonna sing an Elvis song with a mariachi sound, and so that's why we asked him, and he immediately said yes, and we were excited because no other mariachi group's gonna do this in Laredo. Combining two very
Yeah. How is that gonna sound?
yeah, it's gonna sound well. We're about to show you because we talked about it. I'm like, hey, you wanna sing the song that? Well, maybe we haven't decided on the song yet.
Suspicious Mind, mariachi. Oh my. No.
Keep dreaming, man.
Estamos atorados en el monte. No podemos caminar. Porque estás bien tóxica.
Mentes
baby.
sospechosas.
So let me get my guitar. See if it
Oh,
works.
there you go.
Here we go. Here.
Did you put batteries in it or not?
They should first to play. Who else on this?
Hey, it's great to be here. It's great to be here. Thank you so much, my friends, for having me be here with you all this evening. And yes, this is a great big surprise. You know, this is going to be awesome. All right, this is going to be fantastic. You know, I'm looking forward to it. You know, like what TJ was saying. You know, I mean, oh man, you know, we're ready. You know, we're ready.
No auto tuning, all right?
No,
No, para nada.
So tell us, TJ, what are you guys gonna sing?
But which one are we're gonna try to do today?
Well, this one is a top song. You know, this is a beautiful song. A song that I usually dedicate to my mom, right, and to all the moms for Mother's Day.
Audience, by the way,
You know?
always with their mom every day.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I will say that you have a lot of support, and you're blessed
Thank you.
because without a support system, we men cannot do anything. I mean,
Right.
you know, they say that behind every great man is a greater woman or a greater family. So, so that's part of the process that you've been given. So enjoy it while you can. We want to wish. You know, I lost my mom when I was 16. So I don't know what's worse. I always wondered, you know, if you lose them early, is that better than losing them late? I don't know. I just don't think
I think it's worse is having them and not having them around you.
Actually, you're right.
That's
That's a good point. That's another possibility. But you know, losing mine at 16, yeah, you think about how my life would have been a little different if she was still alive. Maybe, maybe not, right? And then having her at, you know, say now my age, I mean, that would also be hard because watching your parents deteriorate into the next life is not easy either. So I mean, either way, it's hard. It's never a good time to lose a parent ever. So, or a family member, period. But much more a parent. I'm not gonna give. I'm not gonna say just moms because everybody's like, oh, mom, no, and that too, right? If he's around. But of course, like you said, they're good parents, right?
Right.
Because not everybody's a good parent. So.
Absolutely.
Anyway, all right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Hold on, let me make sure. See, just a little bit and then bring me out.
Ah, falta una cuerda.
La cuerda.
Para que la
Pero
toque.
Ay, lo que estuvo padre.
You know what? Fuck you and fuck you. not the prop. Not the prop.
Sorry, take it.
Take it back, man.
Take them off.
All right. This is dedicated to everybody and to everybody on Facebook Live that's tuning in as well. Thank you so much for joining. Muchísimas gracias. Let's go and roll, man. Here we go. Where no one else can understand me, when everything I do is wrong, you give me hope and consolation. You give me strength to carry on, and you're always there to lend a hand. Everything I do, that's the wonder of you. Oh yeah, something like that, man. And when you smile, the road is brighter. You touch my hand, and I'm a king. Your love for me is worth a fortune. Your love for me is everything. I guess I'll never know the reason why you love me as you do. And that's the wonder of you. Oh yeah, one more time, here we go. Guess I'll never know the reason why you love me as you do. And that's the wonder of you. Thank you very much.
There you go. Not bad. Wow, the guitar works.
Made it.
There's guitar playback.
Like that. Look at that.
That's the magic of AI.
So Luis, what do you think? What do you think about that? I mean, that was pretty awesome. I think, and then, I'm not trying to burn bridges here or anything like that, but maybe put some mariachi music in there and all that and that.
Well, so the whole plan is like that. We played it close to the original.
Right.
When we do mariachi, it's gonna sound mariachi, so it's gonna be more like a ranchera bolero. So, but you're gonna sing it exactly the same.
Okay.
It's just the sound's gonna be. We gotta keep it mariachi, but again, if you imagine as a mother getting a serenata and you come out and you see mariachi, all of a sudden you see Elvis come out and you're like, what the shit is that?
Elvis in that mariachi Johnson.
Elvis the pelvis mariachi. I mean, so.
Black.
That's the whole purpose behind this, to offer something different. Every mariachi will give you, give them the lady a rose. No, we're going to give you Elvis. So it's something a little different. So if you're interested, listeners out there, if you're interested, let us know. To reach out for us, and then we'll include you in the list for that day. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you this guitar pick. Got a picture of Elvis in it, so you can remember that. First time that you did this on our podcast, so that's a little memory for you to have. So, anything else you want to say? Anything about what you got besides this coming up? Any events or anything, presentations for you?
Well, honestly, I do have some projects. They're in the works. All right, some events they're in the works. As of now, like you mentioned, DJ. Well, yeah, we have this going on, and I'm looking forward to it. And I want to thank you all, everybody. Quiero darle las gracias a todos, right, for your wonderful support, por su gran apoyo, for these 15 years of performing. But yeah, I do have some projects coming up, real soon. Hopefully, I usually post everything on my Facebook. I usually go live, I put my announcements there. So as soon as everything's confirmed, I'll be announcing. But right now, I'm looking forward. This is what you said. This is something different. This is something one of a kind. And then definitely, I'm very excited. But this is, mostly dedicated to all the moms. Para todas las mamás. To all the special moms out there, dedicated to them, and we want to thank them. Queremos dar gracias. For all. Especially for being there. Like for my mom, example, for always being there. We had. Our ups and downs, it's been a long ride, it's still going, right? But I mean, we manage always to move forward, to seguir adelante, darle gracias a Dios, for all these wonderful opportunities, But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I want to thank you all, TJ, Fred, thank you so much. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. I'm so sorry, man. I'm trying to remember your name.
Mexican hippie.
But thank you all so much for having me. It's a pleasure. It's un placer estar aquí. So thank you very, very much.
For those that missed it last time that Luis was here, where Laredo Elvis was here, ahí donde lo ven sentadito, he was on American Idol.
Nice.
So recognized. Good job, man.
American Idol, making it all the way to the third round. That's when it's a bigger room. Where Jennifer Lopez, Steven Tyler, and Mary Jackson, just told me that I sing good, that I have good hair, that I look good, but to try out for the next season. But it was a great experience, because like I mentioned, I had a lot of great, wonderful support, but also, it was Elvis Week, it's, you hear Elvis on the oldie stations at the time, playing him 24/7. It was a great experience, and but like I mentioned, all the events that I've had, in Los Fresnos, and in San Antonio, in Corpus, Alice, Kingsville, it's been, all these, I had a lot of great events, so.
No, good. And hopefully there'll be a lot more, I'm hoping that with this event, with Mother's Day, that it puts you, exposes you to other people and be ready
Different
to
market.
Yep. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's all about, again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your mom and your sister coming by. I mean, I know it's a little, did it start raining yet or not yet? Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's yours up. It's not ready.
Yeah, it's
On and off.
On and off, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Alrighty. Alright guys, it's been, we're going on 2.5 hours, not bad. So I hope, before we close, Salman, you got anything?
Well, as a matter of fact, whatever y'all need, let us know. Give us a call. Give us a text at 956-813-7737. And of course, tomorrow we'll have a morning show, and I'll go ahead and put out the information about Mother's Day, serenades, and all that. And make sure that also, don't forget, May will be prom month. So, congratulations to all the graduates that are coming up. So, and of course, Mother's Day. Thank you so much para todas las madrecitas. Other than that, we are here. Our doors are open. Anybody is welcome. Give us a call again, and let us know if you want to come out. Small businesses, owners, and such. Ojo?
No, just for everybody out there, don't forget, whatever it is you do in life, do or do not, there is no try. If you try, you're not going to succeed. Just do it. Don't say it, just do it. Forward, always forward. And God bless everybody out there, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you.
All right, so, for all of you out there that are contemplating hurting yourselves or hurting other people, understand that you're not alone. We've all at one point of our lives thought about suicide. Maybe you didn't call it suicide, but you said, what if I wasn't here? Would anybody care? And it's okay. It's natural. It's something that our brain does to us, and that's okay. You just cannot act on it. You cannot take a step forward to try to get there. If you think you're alone, I promise you're not. There are so many lifelines out there that you can reach out to, whether it's a organization, a family member, a friend, whatever. All you gotta do is make that call. And us, if somebody's having a bad day, you don't know what they're doing, you don't know what's going through their head. We need to be a little more empathetic and a little more patient with each other. It's easier said than done because Jesus Christ, man, just driving around Laredo once makes you want to kill somebody because people don't give a fuck about anything. But barring that, guys, again, my message to you and coming from the podcast is, if you're thinking about ending this journey, it's not up to you to end it. That's not your right. That's not your decision.
It's being selfish.
Yeah, you need to be smarter than that. Yeah, some people say it's selfish. Some people say it's not selfish, because if I have a mortal sickness, I don't want to inconvenience anybody. So you can say that's selfless or not selfish. So, but it all depends.
It's a permanent fix.
It's a permanent, exactly. Yeah. That is true. It's a permanent action to where there's so many other actions that you can take. So, if you're seeing a counselor, if you're on medication, whatever, follow the plan. Stick to the plan. Look, life is hard enough. I mean, you just gotta focus on the positive stuff, on the right stuff, not the positive. But sometimes focusing on the negative stuff takes you to the positive stuff. So it's okay. Again, if you think that way, great, think it, and then let it process you and let it get out of your system. Just do not take any action. And this thing about, all these massive, mass shootings and stuff like that, again, if you have a family member that's not quite, operating on all cylinders, let law enforcement know, let somebody know. If you're on Facebook or other social media and somebody on your list puts up something that they're going to go do that, whatever, let somebody know immediately. Because the last thing you want is for them to do what they're thinking and hurt people, and they can link it that you saw it, and you can actually get in trouble for that. So do not hesitate to let somebody know immediately. See something, say something. That goes for anything, anywhere, So anyway, not trying to come out on a negative note, but with that being said, guys, thank you again for your time. This is episode 7. We will look forward to you for next week in episode 8. And until then, stay safe and have a good one, guys.